Missed one hand, buddy. You just missed one hand.
Hello and welcome to a great day of poker action here at Texas Card House Houston. My name is Shanice, and I will be your hostess this evening as we check in on this live final table of the Pokeratlas Tour main event. We've got an excellent lineup of players here. We got a full table, and we are looking in on our first hand here. Peter on the button, raising with Queen 3 of spades. Looks like he's going to take down those blinds. And we are up and ready to go. These are the payouts that we are playing for today. So someone is potentially going to walk out of here with a six-figure score, $102,000 up top. Final table, all final tablists will get at least $10,250. So that is a great weekend of poker by any standard. Taking a look at our player lineup here, we've got RGB Chris in seat 1, Peter in the 2 seat. And we'll take another look around the table as we're back in action. Another hand. Some familiar faces if you are familiar with the Houston poker scene. Quite a few of these players are regular on the scene. A couple newer faces as well to the top end of these tournaments. Most of our players have at least 100K in earnings, played on some big final tables on streams before. Peter coming in hot and early with pocket nines. Chase is our chip leader here with just under 12 million chips after he calls in the big blind. Deuce, deuce 5, a pretty safe flop for Peter. Not much except backdoors for the big blind. He elects to check the flop, which allows that 10 of hearts to peel off. Chase now has the best hand. We've got some folks in the chat that were raring to go to get this thing started. We are on a 30-minute delay from the start of the final table. All of the players were pretty much here and ready to go at 4 p.m. Peter makes the call. Ace of diamonds on the river does complete a potential flush. It's a good card for Peter's range. Let's see if he can loose this pair of tens from Chase's hands. Opts not to, just checks back.
You do that one for Houston or what? 6 to the loop, you do that for Houston or what?
6-10, great hand to play in Houston. That is our major freeway that loops around. So Chase increasing his chip lead there in the 5 seat. Just over 13 million chips. Started with 98 big blinds. Vlad in the 7 seat had about 57 or so. We've got June in the 3 seat. You guys may have seen him not too long ago, the last cash game stream that we had, which has unfortunately been quite a while now. Had a lot of players in and out of town playing all these different tournaments. He's in the mix, 2.6 million chips. Jason folding a suited ace in early position, not going to mess with it. We're now down to our blinds. Chase with the 10-8 offsuit. Gets to be aggressive in the small blind with that chip lead, but runs into ace-king from Hassan. With his stack size, he is no problem ripping it all in. Started this with 8 big blinds. Has right around 7 now. Just under 7 big blinds now. And Chase is going to fold the 10-8 offsuit. Nice pickup for Hassan. Going to have to find a few more of those to continue to advance up the pay ladder. Sort of sandwiched in between the 2 bigger stacks there. Georgie in the 4 seat, another experienced player. Again, seat 5 is Chase with that chip lead. Hassan in seat 6, gonna have to try to just keep swimming here. DJ in the 8 seat, he is a Houston poker tournament legend. Was part of the Mattress Max stable that went to the WSOP a couple of years ago. So he is the short stack, going to be looking to find something to work with here soon. Peter picking up pocket 7s. Not a bad start to his final table. June resists the temptation of that queen 10. And looks like this one is going to get through a lot of junk hands. Vlad likes to play and defend, but the 9-3, too much of a blackjack hand for him to continue or defend his big blind.
I always tell everybody raise the best player without a bracelet.
You going right after this? Good luck.
Oh, you didn't need cash.
They got check cashing happening. 9-fold. 1-fold.
So DJ is the shortest stack and is in the big blind. So let's see if anyone gets aggressive and attacks his position. Chase with the chip lead and the ace-9 in the cutoff. Seems reasonable for him to go for it, which he does. Raises to 250. Brown chips are 100K, white chips are 25K. Vlad in the small blind, gonna call with pocket 5s, and DJ put in a spot here, finds an ace in his big blind, but with the action in front of him,
Just do it at 30.
he's gonna have to sit and think about what he wants to do with this particular hand.
And then you always, and so that one is how many he goes so far. When he goes to the game.
You can expect Chase to be opening a little bit wider, considering he does have the chip lead. He was in late position. A lot of King X and suited queen hands maybe raising out of that position, but the presence of Vlad getting in between there is a little suspect, and DJ does end up folding that ace. Was dominated by both players. To the flop we go. Vlad versus Chase. 10-10-4, 2 hearts. Pocket 5s are still the best hand. Chase puts out 200K, continuation bet. Vlad will call to see the turn, and Chase drills that ace on the turn. So now he has the best hand and has Vlad in trouble with only 3% equity. Vlad decides to lead that ace. It's typically a card that's better for Chase's range. May be considering this to be a blocker type bet. Chase elects to flat call, excuse me. 7 of clubs on the river changes nothing. Does go check, check. And Chase is going to have a good day if he continues to turn the best hand. Casey in the group chat asked, what was the buy-in for this tournament? It was an $800 500K guarantee. And I believe, let's see if we get the total prize pool, 583. So did quite well.
I thought that was gonna make you encourage.
I know the room was packed all weekend. Quite a bit of action on social media. Saw a lot of people posting. The room was full for just about 3 weeks for the duration of this event. So close to back to normal now. We've got our regular 1-2 and 1-3 cash games going. Regular $80 5K tournament tonight. But we definitely enjoyed having all of the buzz and energy surrounding the Pokeratlas Tour. Justin Hammer in the building, the main tournament organizer and sort of the brainchild of this tour. So always happy to have him in town with us. Peter finding another nice hand, ace-king. Vlad with pocket fives again on the button. Let's see if he elects to make this a 3-bet. So he does decide to 3-bet this hand on the button. DJ again with another strong hand, forced to fold. You definitely are not excited to have to fold a hand like ace-10 with only about six and a half blinds, but too much action in front. Hand is typically in rough shape.
30 seconds. I'm not just texting you.
Do have a shot clock on this final table and time extensions. Peter does elect to go all in.
You got to count all bets. And then the clock starts.
So Peter jams for 2.875. A little bit over 20 bigs here. Vlad has them well covered, but does he want to flip in this spot with only pocket fives? So I did see the time extension go in, but I do believe I saw the cards go in as well for Vlad. He did, in fact, fold those 5s. Too risky. At best, flipping with a hand like ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, even ace-10, doesn't matter. Still 2 overcards.
What?
And worst case scenario, fully dominated by a bigger pair.
Really?
So Vlad's still second in chips, but Chase with more than twice as many chips, so he is in a commanding position at this final table right now. Chase, the only player at the table I personally was not familiar with coming into this tournament. I do see his hometown is listed as Conroe, Texas. He's got $164,000 in live earnings. Has a 115K score. Looks like a recent first place, the Mystery Bounty event at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi. So he is looking to keep his run going strong here. DJ is all in with ace-king of clubs. Finally found a strong hand in a spot where there wasn't as much action in front of him. Chase had raised his queen-jack. So he picks up the blinds and a raise. And just like that, he actually leapfrogs Hassan and RGV Chris as far as chip count. So every hand, especially for these shorter stacks, so crucial, so much at stake.
I've often said you remind me of Helen.
Who'd you say?
Said I've often said DJ reminds me of Helmy.
Yeah, one of the same.
I don't think
That viral clip of them two, I couldn't tell which one was who.
Oh yeah. People.
One way to get me onto it.
Ace queen for RGV Chris in the small blind. A welcome sight, I'm sure. And he is going to get some action here from Peter, who wakes up with jacks in the big blind. So it is a classic race. It looks like RGV Chris has a little bit more equity than the standard flip would show. We do have the action tracker that kind of keeps track of all the folded cards, so there must not have been a lot of aces or queens folded. So, and maybe a jack has been folded as well, which drops Peter's equity just slightly. All diamond flop, 10-9-4. No diamonds for either player. Ace peels right off on the turn again. And Peter finding big hands, but not running quite so well to start this final table. RGV Chris gets the double up.
How dangerous could that make?
And RGV Chris, a known dangerous player, plays tournaments all over So he is experienced.
Big and cured.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it definitely gave me the wrong impression of you.
Oh, no, I mean, I got that in me every once in a while for sure. The mistake was giving her 100 and saying every time you walk back there, bring me a crown out. That was, she just did it. Unfortunately.
We've got folks in the chat rooting for their favorite players. Got 2 for June, 1 for Hassan.
I mean,
One for
we
Peter.
have a wild group there, too.
No, Jason mentioned his mom would be watching. Shout out to Mom.
And then the 80-year-old lady got like all the publicity in that one.
In the main, right?
No, it was the mystery bout.
Oh, was it the Mr. Gunny? Yeah.
2 call, 3 checks.
And there were so many haters that were like, oh, we see her playing all the time. Who
Yeah.
cares, man?
Yeah.
Going to a flop here. June versus Peter. Again, blind on blind violence.
Impressive, even if she was like a
Peter,
seasoned pro at that age.
with an ace rag hand, does find top pair on ace queen 5.
Yeah, I'm fine.
June's 8-4 offsuit is going to need a 7 or a 6 to keep him interested. King of clubs, not what he's looking for. Probably going to be
2 bets. 1 bet.
a bet and a fold, and it is. Jonathan says he played with DJ on the Saturday night flight. Both busted with min cash, so DJ must have woken up early on that Sunday morning, played the turbo flight to get his bag. It's always a tough way to do it, but if you are determined to get there, you got to do what you got to do. I myself, not being a morning person, have had many intentions of doing a Sunday morning flight, only to not quite make it there. Vlad away from the table, folds king queen. That opens an opportunity for DJ to raise. Looks like he has a jack of clubs. Not sure what the other card is. Potentially another jack or maybe an ace to go with that. Got another vote for Jason. Vote for Chris and Peter. Brian Goldsmith, good to see you in the chat. Native Girl, you may be talking about Kyle. He is our media
That's why you don't want all these
personnel extraordinaire. So he is keeping track of the action for the live updates on the Texas Card House website and on social media.
Is that why you always dress in beige? You just want to be inconspicuous?
So he cannot miss a hand, just in case something really interesting pops off there.
7 raised to 275, 8 fold. 9 fold.
Vlad makes it back in time to catch these pocket tens.
2 fold. 3 fold.
Always a welcome sight to catch a pocket pair, especially a big one, but also can be a little precarious as well, especially in early position. A lot of times when I see the first 10, I'm almost hoping that I don't really get the second one. But I'm sure Vlad is quite comfortable, has been
Justin told me last night that you asked if there was
in these spots before and is quite comfortable playing worse hands than pocket tens. Chase defends his big blind there with pocket threes, so he is dominated. Gonna need to find a 3 to have a strong chance in this one. Ace King 9. A little bit too heavily favors the opener's range, and he lets it go. Let me know, any of you guys in the chat, if you played this tournament, have played with any of these players, have any insights, any guesses as to how this final table may go. I know Jonathan mentioned that he played. Vlad, ace-8 of diamonds under the gun. Can definitely see differences in strategies between the players. We've had similarly suited aces folded pretty quickly from early position, but Vlad's going to go ahead and raise up. Oh, we've got family love in the group chat. Fam Comedy says Peter is his cousin. Very cool. Curious if you guys played poker as a family or if you've ever gotten a chance to play in the room. So Hassan, one of the shorter stacks, has a hand suited queen, queen 7. If he had more chips, he would certainly be defending here, but it's a little tough on such a short stack. Does elect to make the fold. Looks like we have a blind increase here. 75K and 150K. Bad news for the shorter stacks at the table. Their purchasing power has decreased a little bit.
We had up to 15 throughout this process so far. He had you buy a couple 100,000.
Nine fold. One fold, two fold. Raise to 300.
Queen Jack of clubs for June, gonna raise it up 300K. Good enough to make Georgie fold a hand he may would have opened. The King 9 of hearts. Chase looks like he's considering putting some pressure on one of the sort of middling stacks here, and he does opt to do exactly that. King 10 offsuit. Does the job of getting a suited ace to fold out of the small blind. That's a hand that Hassan may would have jammed with had there not been this action ahead of him. Let's see what June does with this hand here. It's kind of a tough hand to call a 3-bet with, but it is suited. Could opt to play these sort of like suited connectors.
This is the way you don't do that. Yes, that was only 15.
It is a significant portion of his stack, though, so
It was both the home, but yeah. But that's because he was talking.
tough situation.
Like, it's 30 seconds, not 15 to 15. There's a massive difference.
Gonna stop and think about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Will he be able to fold this hand?
But maybe they won't use it.
Mostly a cash game player, so if you're used to playing cash games, Queen Jack is 1,000%
Use all in.
a hand you want to see a flop with. And I actually like this play. He actually goes all in here.
2.27.
We can see the cards face off. It's a little precarious, of course, if Chase had a hand at the top end of his range, but I think he made the correct read that Chase was applying pressure as the big stack on the button. And he elects to apply the pressure right back to him, and he does get the fold. So a little street poker there with the Queen Jack of clubs. June not afraid to play. June playing with some gumption. Ship and dip, likes to see it. A tough notion to make that play with so many shorter stacks. Chase with the king 10 again.
Just one green chip, just so I can say I had one at some point.
Absolutely. Pretty great. Collusion.
Yeah.
By the end of this thing, you probably have a lot of them.
What's that?
So by the end of this thing, you probably have a lot of them.
Oh no. Stop it.
RGB Chris looking for a double up, trying to get at least one of those. He called it green. I would say turquoise chips. Those are worth 250K. Folds around to Vlad on the button. Does like to be aggressive on his button. Decides not to do it this time with the 4-3. And Jason gets a walk with the dirty diaper. Vlad would have gotten that button raised through if he had opted to go for it. No drinkers at this final table. There's too much money on the line. But we will make sure these players stay hydrated. Playing tournament poker does take a lot of brain power. We could be here for 2 hours. We could be here for 6. We have no idea.
And I knew exactly what was going to happen. You're going to look down, see 3 seconds.
Yeah, I do see that is a hand that with about 5 or 6 big blinds folded to could have potentially been a jam in late position there for Hassan. Opted to try to wait for an ace or a king. Peter again with the pocket pair coming in here, pocket queens. Vlad and Peter, I'm sure, have played quite a bit together. Maybe considers taking a spot there with the 8-5. Good thing he didn't, because Chris is going to be getting it all in here, I believe, with this ace-king. I am correct. He does elect to go all in. Got about 12 big blinds here. And again, they're going to flip. So RGV Chris won the last flip. Pretty much the same situation here. Let's see if those queens will hold for Peter this time. It's looking good. He has top sets. And the jack peels right off on the turn, giving Chris Birchfield Broadway. So Peter finding monster hand after monster hand is just unable to hold until the river. And if you're a fan of RGV Chris, you are happy to see that, but he is a tough opponent with a lot of experience, looking to cross over the $1 million in live earnings mark today. If he gets third place or better, he will do that. He's real close. It's 960,000 according to Hendon Mob right now. And that is another step in the right direction. He is now third place in chips.
Sorry about that, guys.
And Peter, again, started with a decent-sized stack. Has looked at a bunch of strong hands. We've seen queens, we've seen jacks, a lot of pocket pairs, and just not running super great. Jason with ace queen and Peter with pocket kings, again just finding monster after monster. So the tides have turned, and now Peter is actually the player at risk. We see a queen has been burned. Jason gonna need an ace alone by the time we get to the river, and it does not come. So a monster for Peter finally holds. Would have liked to have had some of those chips from that previous hand. Maybe would have had a chance to eliminate Jason there. But at least happy to get the W there with the kings.
875,
So that puts a little dent in Jason's stack, but he will still have more than 10 blinds. Kids Learn HTML. Hello, hello. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for coming by. San finally finds the kind of hand he was looking for. Upgraded that queen jack from earlier to pocket queens. Let's see if he gets any action. DJ with another close borderline hand here. Ace-10 out of the hijack, has players to worry about behind him. Does actually have Hassan covered. Vincent Wynn sneaking in the chat, not saying hi to me. I'm gonna get you. Happy to see you though. So DJ does decide to get it in with that ace-10, and now a weird spot for Peter. He's got ace-king suited again, just catching monster cards in the hole. Does have both players covered, so looking to potentially double eliminate here if he can catch an ace or a king. If he decides he wants to call, this is a tough spot. You've got to jam and rejam ahead of you. If he had that cushion of a stack that he had before he lost those flips to Birchfield, somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5, 4 million, I think it would have been an easy snap, but he does in fact go all in as well. Hand too strong to fold in this spot. I think chat's being a little bit rough on Peter. I think when you're playing for this amount of money, it is perfectly appropriate to take the time that you need. We do actually have a shot clock on all of these players as well as, you know, they're all responsible for their own time bank. So, you know, that's what the shot clock is for, and that's what the time banks are for. I don't even think Peter has had to use one of his time banks yet. All of these decisions have been made within the time given on the shot clock. So we will see how these cards run out. This is the kind of stuff that we are here for. We've got three-way all-ins, ace-king, ace-10, and queens. Hassan and DJ both all in and at risk. Six, 5, 4, 9 on the turn. And jack on the river. The clubs come in for Peter. So he flopped the club draw, found it on the river, and eliminates two players. Hassan, with the shortest of the two stacks, will receive the 9th place 10K. And DJ will be out in 8th place with the 12K.
I mean, can we redo the one you busted your left? Yeah, that one. Oh, it's that one over the flush where you had the trick king, the last yeah, it was a I had the 2 hearts, yeah. I was 100% sure.
So Peter,
Me too, like from the jump.
on the roller coaster, I've played with him quite a few times. He is a fun guy to play with and against. And, you know, Peter a couple years ago, I think the roller coaster could have been potentially self-made, self-induced, but whenever I've seen him at these final tables running deep lately, he's been playing very solid. And these cards have just put him on a roller coaster, and he's just had to be along for the ride with all of these monster hands he's had. So now over 4 million in chips. Hopefully that'll be a little stabilizing for him, and so we will see what happens as we have 7 players left at this final table.
Yeah. Every once in a while you want to take a break.
5 seconds.
He told me earlier that he's got a 8 p.m. movie ticket, so he's got to get out of here quick. Date night. Like King Deuce.
RGB Chris with the computer hand. Suited takes it down.
Jacks plus every hand, and you saw the King 7 said I better get in there.
You go all in every hand.
I have it every hand.
So now Georgie and Jason, the 2 players at the bottom of the chip counts. Georgie's been very quiet, not caught a lot of cards. Jason, pretty quiet as well, except for that one flip he got into with Peter. I say flip, it was ace-queen versus kings, but again, perfectly reasonable hand to be all in with in that spot. Just unfortunate, only had 3 outs there.
5 seconds. 2-1 raise 300,000. Raise 1 million.
So Chris raised the hijack with pocket 5s. Chase came back strong with ace-queen of clubs, and Chris immediately folds.
800K. You know, I just wanted to get paid like in one teal and all 25K.
So now with 2 players missing, let's see if any of the ranges open up, particularly out of our chip leader. Just fewer people to fight with. Peter with another pocket pair.
5 seconds. 62. Raise, gotta make it 300,000. I'm gonna force the raise to 300,000 now. What's up?
Vlad gonna defend king high here. King of diamonds, 3 of hearts. Let's see if he can find the 3-outer here against those 8s. 9-7-4 is a favorable flop for Peter. Not typically a monster flop for the opening range, but again, specifically with those pocket 8s, he's tucked right in between that 9 and 7. And the c-bet is enough to get Vlad out of the way. Queen six of clubs. A hand that I know Vlad will be playing out of the small blind. Looks like you got to raise an easy fold. Jason had the 6-2 offsuit. Not going to go to war with that. I imagine most of these players will be parlaying their deep run from this event by going to Vegas at some point in the summer. I know a couple of them will more than likely be living there for the next couple months. Chat, you guys tell me what your Vegas summer camp plans are. June finds an ace. He's going to raise it. Is a little bit easier to open a hand like ace-7 off, 7-handed, as opposed to full ring. He's going to successfully steal those blinds. Got Kevin in the chat rooting for Peter, so we've got a lot of Peter supporters here in the chat.
Been like 3 hits since you picked up one. I mean, this is insane. Yeah, yeah. Whenever you moved in, before you even have to go, well, it's been 3 hands since you picked up the 2 queens or something.
There's no poker.
Small blind.
No, it's good now, but this is
Your buddy.
sometimes
UTG.
You under the gun shove. She had in the small blind shove.
it did just. I did both.
First
It's
hand
not
he's
good
played
for
too.
his for now, but it did. Both.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. That's first.
Well, still not folding 2 queens. Like,
No. But it made it easy.
7, 8, 7.5.
What do you have? 11, 11.50, 11.35.
I'm not allowed to have my phone, so I can't do the calculations, dog. Why are you embarrassing me? I don't know what the hell that is.
Seat 7 raised 300,000. Seat 1 fold. Seat 1, seat 2 fold.
Yeah. As soon as you moved in, I said, well, it's been 3 hands since you picked up a premium. Yeah. Well, that's why I said I wonder whose feet that's high. I said the stable so far. No. I moved in with 10 bigs. You had 2 jacks. You have 2 queens. You have 2 queens. You have ace king club. Like, well, here we go.
Yeah, you're in it. Yeah, I'm like.
Anybody that is watching, anything that's watching you for the first time on this stream is going to get a wild misconception.
Seat 1 fold. Seat 1 raised 300,000. Seat 2 fold. Seat 3 fold. Seat 5 fold. 5 seconds. That's it. First fold.
Are you down to 3 of those things? No. But you're down to 3? I don't know what the parlay was for you to be the first player in the tournament to run out of those twice, but I would have. That had to have been a long shot.
You got it, man.
How mad were you when after you won with that king queen that you burned them? The first time that you ran out of the cards, like very early on day 2, you called off when he shoved 3x pot. How mad were you that you used them?
Seat 2 fold.
Yeah, that's fair.
Seconds. Suspension. Raise 700,000. And then I will have to take a time extension.
That was in there. That was in there. Rewind the tapes.
Definitely wrong, but just a matter of no great.
No, this is it. We got the 5 more in our bags. That was just your penalty for free betting.
Five seconds. Raise 350,000. C2. C3 fold. C5 fold. C7 fold.
appreciate that.
On my fair 12. You did good.
Allows the video to mix hand 100, 200, 200.
5 seconds. Time extension. Five seconds. Time extension. Five seconds. Time extension. C2 raise 300,000. C3 fold. C5 fold. Alright. C7 call. Heads up. C7 check. C2 bet.
Oh, are you? Oh, am I the angel? No, I'm still here. That's very kind. Peter takes it down with the king deuce of hearts. I have not gone anywhere, guys. I'm still here with you. I am sweating every hand of this final table because it has been quite interesting so far. So all eyes on Jason in the 9 seat here in the big blind, the shortest stack. Going to be looking to find something.
C5 raise 400,000.
Chase with the big stack, going to take advantage, try to bully. Vlad looks down at an ace,
5 seconds.
as he is often
Time extension.
a big stack bully. He knows what Chase is likely doing. Let's see if he tries to put up some resistance here. Also taking a look at those time extension cards. It's running kind of low on those.
You're gonna call?
So Jason waits patiently for a hand and does find a good one. Ace 10 has Chase dominated with the 10-8. 65% to win this one. Low ball brings an open ender for Chase. 9-7 by the turn, but the 3 of diamonds, a safe card for Jason. So he's going to get the double up here.
I almost went with 7 high last time.
At the beginning of the third time extension, I almost asked if you knew it was on you.
I couldn't fucking decide. You win? You should play. I think that's my brother, so he knows.
C2 fold. C3 fold. C5 fold. C7 fold. 5 seconds. Time extension.
Jason with another strong hand. King, queen of diamonds out of the small blind.
Raise all.
Blinds are up now 100,000 and 200,000. So with 8.5 blinds there, certainly a jam against the big blind.
Feels like it.
We've got Shaw and Jess here in the foreground. Sweating DJ, who ended up out in 8th, and also Jason. And just like that, after a couple of hands, he is right back in the mix with everybody else, not too far behind June either.
Fucking level 3, bro. Weekend Vlad. Strengthen the donkey.
C3 raise 500,000.
All right, guys, I have a special treat. I have brought a guest with me into the booth. You may know him if you have played at Texas Card House recently. You may know him if you played on Full Tilt back in the day, but I'm not going to dox him unless he wants to be known. I've got David here with me. What's up, David?
Hey, Shanice, how we doing, Miss Beasley?
Oh my gosh, we're awesome. We are down to 6-handed in this final table, as I know you were scouting it out, but it is quite action-packed.
I was following the action on Pokeratlas. I see we're in a pot right away.
We are. So June has raised King Jack of Spades to 500K. Vlad in the cutoff with the 8s. Let's see what he does for that.
Oh, there's a 3-bet coming.
You're correct, sir. Here he comes in, 1.45 million chips. And again, June,
In an awkward spot here.
a very awkward spot. So I don't know if you know him. He's more of a cash game player. So some of the suited Broadway hands have been quite attractive to him. It's kind of hard to fold in cash games, at least. Kind of a tough spot for a tournament hand, though.
Does he really just have 2 million behind? So this is a shove, effectively.
Yeah, the stack sizes have been pretty accurate so far, and it looks like he does have about 2.2 million total. So if he does continue with this hand, he would have to get it all in. Doesn't really have any fold equity, though, since Vlad already made that 3-bet so large.
And it looks like he does lay it down, and Vlad will take the pot. A lot of ICM implications.
Absolutely. So have you, I know you played a lot online in the past. Have you played quite a bit of live tournament poker as well?
Yes, much to my own detriment. I've played a fair few live tournaments, and never been in a live final table quite this size myself, but certainly have some experience in these ICM situations. As Chris, let's see, we can probably hear what Chris is saying.
I don't know, man. That place you took us to was fire.
Papados.
Yeah, you know, I used to love Papado. The last couple
What'd you
times
say?
I've been there, it's been too salty for me to even eat. So, and that's at 2 different
What'd you say?
locations. So my love is waning for that place.
Reverse shout out. I worked at Little Papacitos for 2 weeks. I lasted.
I'm surprised you made it that long, honestly. So Jason's going to get it all in here with the ace queen. Yeah, he's got 2.1 million. So just got 10.5 blinds here. Makes perfect sense.
Got a bit.
Yeah, I got it.
Looks like it got through.
So to be clear, we're 5-handed now. All right? So
Six.
still 6-handed.
Yep, still 6-handed.
100, 200 level. 30. Hello to all my single fan out there. Okay, so let's just look at these stacks in the situation. So we have Chase with 55 plus big blinds. A lot of people between 12 and 18 I saw.
Yeah, it's getting pretty tight pretty fast here.
So when you pointed out that player is more of a cash player, from his stack size, I was right when I got here, but I think he probably wanted to be just shoving his hand, not raise folding it. Not to be too critical, but it's a situation where, let's see here, we got to open from Chris
Yeah,
to
RTV Chris
400K.
raises ace-9 of diamonds.
Ooh, the Williams sisters on the button.
Williams sisters, I love it. That's a great one for 2 black queens. And Peter's been catching hands like this all final table, so some of them have held, some of them have not.
So we're playing 17 big blinds here effective. Peter is thinking about probably a small 3-bet call. Maybe $1 million or so.
Looks like pretty much exactly what you said
1.1
there.
maybe. Yeah, 1.1.
What do you expect to see? Wow. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, didn't expect to see that.
No
June.
more commentary. Yes, we'll leave this to the color commentary. We're gambling.
June's got ace king offsuit in the small blind here and has some decision making about what he wants to do. Peter has shown nothing but premium hands this final table. I don't know how much experience he has playing with Peter outside of that, if he has any sort of colored history. Because Peter can be aggressive. He can be known for being aggressive, but again, this final table, he has been all X's and O's and all premiums.
There goes June, though. I believe 6th of 6, if not very close to that, decides to go ahead and put in the last of his chips with the ace king. We're going to have a big flip.
Yeah, absolutely. Major flip. One of those aces is down for June.
Y'all want to go? Y'all want to go see a movie at 6:30?
So big flip, big hand. So ace king does make Broadway on the turn, but it is a full house as well for Peter. Ran into a similar spot earlier where he hit his set of queens, but Chris Birchfield made Broadway. That time the board was paired for him though, so he did make the nuts on the turn. And another massive pot, another elimination. So we do have June out in 6th place. He makes $17,940 for his efforts this weekend. And it's nice to see him again. You know, we know him more as a cash player, but hopefully we will see him in more tournaments.
Cash players tend to do well in these main events. To start deep stacked, they sometimes have bankrolls to fire a few bullets. They have patience. You see it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a huge advantage if you're used to playing deeper to come into a tournament early when you have 100 and more big blinds and continue to just run up stacks and surprise people with hands that, you know, your regular tournament grinders may not be playing.
Sure. Chris with another hand to open. Probably thinking about just sticking it in this time for 14 bigs.
5 seconds.
We'll see. Yes.
He does stick it in, 14 bigs.
And here in these shorter stack situations, I mean, people like Vlad, like Jerry, they have the advantage of having played a lot of tournaments and cash, so they're good in those deep stack spots, but still comfortable here. Vlad, thinking about a bad call, won't do it.
Ace of spades.
Five-handed now.
Yep, just got to 5.
Pay jumps are pretty consistent, and there's a big one going for first, like that 100K plus first place. So there's a pretty much a 33% increase consistently, and then almost a 50% increase second to first.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started this final table with Chase having almost 100 big blinds, and he did get just over 100 big blinds in one of the first couple of hands. But everything is sort of consolidated and packed in pretty quickly. Jason is the shortest stack with 13. Largest stack has just over 60.
5 seconds. Raise 450,000.
Yeah, the final table is progressing pretty quickly. I planned on coming in and helping commentate on the first break, but when I saw there were already 4 eliminations in the first first 90 minutes, I decided to head on over.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you guys are bored of only hearing my voice, so definitely wanted
No.
to bring in somebody.
Now you get to hear my breathing for an hour. So that'll chip Peter up to 10 million. Peter, everybody left. I'd love to see the stacks again, but I believe we just have one person under 16 bigs or so remaining, and maybe a little more post-flop play upcoming.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, the shortest stack, I believe he had 13, and Chris Birchfield had right over 17.
That's right. He just got to shove through with 14, so he would have about 17 entering the big blind here.
So I know, David, you have probably played some amount with all of these players. Any thoughts on how you would play this final table?
Let's see here. I would do anything I could to stop Vlad from being the back-to-back Houston champion if I'm one of the players. So I'm definitely giving my all. Everybody left has a lot of game, and I think any of them could win. I floored for all of them. I don't know how much I've played a bit with Chris and a bit with Vlad, but I certainly witnessed all these players, and they all have game. So it's going to be a tough competition for anybody to win.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, Chase is probably the player I have the least experience personally with here, as he raises in the cutoff with pocket 8s. RGB Chris has to decide if he wants to defend this ace-4 offsuit, which he does.
Yes, let's see C3 here. Standard play. Oh boy.
Wow. Flops it. RGB Chris with the wheel off the rip. He's going to put a little lead out there, and I don't see how pocket 8s can fold to just one bet on this flop.
It's a pretty fantastic lead. He made it quickly. It's solver approved on the low board. And I would not be surprised if we just see a shove here from 8s and a happy snap. In fact, that's what we want to see.
Not quite a shove, but we do get a click back. 600K.
That speaks to Chase's strength. It's probably stronger than a shove. He is going to call this shove, upcoming shove. Okay, we just get a call, smooth call from Chris. Does that turn have any chance of saving Chase? What do you think, Shanice?
I don't think so. RGB Chris has just under a pot-sized bet behind.
And he checks.
It's a rainbow board, so no flush is possible. Goes with the 500K sizing. So let's see if he gets the information he was looking for from RGB Chris. Is he going to...
I think he's just very confident he has the best hand right now. He's trying to protect, perhaps project strength. Let's see if Chris continues the slow play or goes ahead and puts in what amounts to a 40% pot all in.
Yeah, I mean, on such a dry board, he can't be too concerned about much, but he does just want to be able to get all of his chips in if possible, so...
Has Chase just made a brilliant play for pot control? Because if Chris checks river, Chase is checking that river every day and expecting to lose quite often on that river. And there we go. Chase wiser than I. His sizing on the turn saved him. And a number of ways Chris could have got all in there on the flop return, but Chase managed to save a million chips plus. And well played by both. Chris didn't manage to get it all in out of position, but very interesting hand, I think.
Yeah, very interesting the way that played out. I think the 6 was actually a sort of unlucky card for Chris there. Puts the 4 line to the straight out there, so makes it less likely that if he just open jams, he would get a call off there. Would have liked to see a king or a 10, something like that, a Broadway card.
He checks all those back. Besides a jack, 2, or 8, he probably checks back all rivers. So he uses position well there to actually control the side of the pot and only get half in against a 17 big blind stack.
Yeah, absolutely. So saves
JB
2
Dart.
blue chips there, which doesn't look like a lot, but because he has a big stack of them there, but that is quite a bit at this final table.
Absolutely. Every big blind matters immensely.
JB Darts, you've got Shanice and David here in the booth for you.
Shanice the commentator and David the floor.
Might have seen him out in the streets as David the floor.
Yep, running around Texas Card House, sweating in my suit. Professionally.
He's a hard-working man, this guy.
Vlad opened here. No. Vlad opened cutoff, right?
He did, and we had Peter defending with the Jack 9. Not deterred by the C-bet on the flop, and
Check
does
calls
turn.
one big blind.
Yeah, does turn the best hand here, makes a pair of jacks.
And if we know Vlad here, we're going 1.1. Ooh.
Yeah,
Slows down.
Peter's been
Sticky?
I wouldn't say sticky, but he's just been having it. So I think Vlad is taking the more conservative route.
We got a misread on the river there. It's a pair of 6. Yep. And I think this will go check, and Peter will get to show his float and win the pot. Fun for all. He may be thinking of bluffing, but it's not a good bluffing river. That's all. Yep, check. Bad bluffing river for Vlad.
Yeah, 6 of hearts really changes nothing there.
If not betting turn here, you don't want to be betting river.
Wisely does check back.
Fantastic hand, fun for all.
Yeah, we have out of the 5 that we have remaining, I would say almost all of the most experienced tournament players are here amongst this final 5.
Yeah.
DJ came to this final table a little bit short. I would say he's up there as far as experience as well. But we've got 1.2 million in earnings for Vlad.
Jason's been playing forever. He's played all over the place.
Yeah,
Shout out Stunner game.
If he gets 3rd place, he will be over $1 million in live earnings today.
Jason? Oh,
So-
nice. Very
No,
nice.
not Jason. Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, of course, local legend, always doing things within the community. Usually food or clothes related, but sometimes poker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beloved. Those is mixed games. Vlad on steaming tilt.
Yeah, it hasn't gone the way that he likes to typically play his final tables. As we know, Vlad likes to be aggressive.
Oh,
Whoa.
Jason, clap above your head. Min
Yeah,
raises
Jason
here,
Levasis here.
on 10 bigs.
Is he going to get action from the suited jack out of the big blind? Not good enough. Hasn't really opened too many hands, so
Cool customer though. I mean, still big pot for him. Doesn't show it.
yeah, absolutely. So
Smart not to there. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, especially off of that stack size, just the raise.
I imagine if he had a pair of
suspect.
5s there, he would be shoving. So that's, yeah. As much as it hurts, he may just want to stick the aces there, give or take. This is breakup. Oh, dealer change.
Dealer change.
Jeremy to Izzy. Jeremy shaking it off.
Absolutely. It's a lot of work at this final table. The dealers are not only announcing all of the action, but also working the shot clock and keeping track of everything is going on. So a lot of extra work for them after a long 3-week series. So thank you to all of our dealers for putting in the work making these tournaments happen.
Now, I guess, having for the first time commentated, played at, and dealt, streamed final tables, they're all three nerve-wracking.
Oh no, I hope you weren't nervous coming in here with me. It's easy.
No, this is probably the best of them.
Yeah, this is the easiest.
I mean, I guess
gig.
you'd rather be playing, right, and making money, but yeah. Oof, a lot of big hands getting dealt so far.
Yeah, Jason with back-to-back monsters gets kings to follow up those aces.
Okay, we're fake tanking, but we're gonna min raise surely if we did on that. The larger stack.
And it does have to keep track of those time extensions, so it doesn't want to tank too long.
Barrels cards. He does min raise, matching his play.
Would you have liked to see a jam? Or you like this play?
So aces shorter last hand, he min raised. I think go ahead and match that. You have an extra 3 big ones. If you shove last hand, I would like a min raise here even better. Ooh. And Vlad is gonna defend the big, of course.
So actually it works out for Jason this time. He does get some action
Potentially.
with Vlad. Yeah, it works out unless that rocket comes.
Okay.
Jack 6, rainbow.
Should be betting as small as we can here. One big one, maybe 300K.
300K is a beautiful size because that sets up.
He goes 5. A little bit of life sizing. Jason's a tiny bit old school, but it's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, it doesn't let Vlad make a play here. Just period. He'll think about it because he's Vlad, but he just can't. Against 300K, he can consider it. Oof, as I live and breathe, we get a call.
Yeah, so Vlad not willing to go away. He does have the 6 of diamonds, hoping to maybe find another pointy card. 10 of clubs.
We got less than pot behind. It's you can't go fishing for back doors in that spot. I hate to criticize a great player's play, but a little iffy.
Yeah, again, Vlad likes to be involved and hasn't really had as many opportunities as he normally does in this particular final table. So maybe leaning on a player that he thinks is going to be a little tighter and more concerned with ICM implications. And
Absolutely, and not doing it without a plan, to be fair. I guess most scary turns, he was going to go ahead and fire, and now he'll have to bet fold for getting 4.5 to 1. Never a player's dream. No fake tank, just... I'll be fair, if we saw that in a lesser player's hands, we'd call it a disaster spot. So I'm going to go ahead and stick to that because you're not the player you were yesterday or today. You're just that pot. Good hand for Jason. Unnecessary spew from Vlad.
yeah, kind of tough there, but Jason strongly benefits. So now he has 4.5 million, 22 blinds, and puts Vlad in danger here. He is now the shortest stack.
Danger somewhat, but over 15 bigs, it also makes the table just relatively deeper. Vlad is a shorty at 16 biggers. So, how much time left in this level, Shanice?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I don't know if I look. It's going to show me. If I look on Alice, it's going to show. I think we've been at this level for about 15 or 20 minutes.
I'll get my Atlas open too. Yep, 22 minutes left, so plenty of 200K level left. This tournament shows no signs of showing down, playing for big money. Let's see. I think I see an open from the button, Chase.
Yeah, it has a mystery hand. Not sure exactly what he has here on the button.
He's in a fantastic spot now with his image, with his stack. Oh,
Jason picks up another monster.
Aces, ace king. Not in that order, but back to back to back.
What a run of hands for Jason, who was extremely patient.
We haven't seen Chase's cards here, but it's gonna need. What are we shutting? 20. You need a very strong hand here to call. We're looking at 7s or 8s plus, ace jack suited plus. And find a fold with ace 10 here, ace jack off here. I don't think fake tanking, but you would never know with the button open. It's always fun to have a mystery hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to guess what could be going on here. It actually does look like he's really thinking about it, like Sai thinking about it. So thinking that he might be on the stronger.
I thought I just heard something about can you beat 10 high, but which doesn't match his body language. So who knows? I assume he has to use the time bank fairly soon if he doesn't make a decision.
Yeah, the dealers kind of take them at the end there. They'll
right.
take the time banks that are owed.
Jason up to $5 million though. Well, that's I see him. We could try to define it in a million different ways, but play tight, get five-handed, go on a rush. That's what I see him as.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how they drew it up. I don't know if you're probably actually on your way driving in, so you might not have actually seen, but Jason was down to 900K and was debating about going all in with 7.5 offsuit under the gun.
And found the fold.
Found the folds.
Wisely, because of course Jason was considering next hand model push fold models, but still 5-7 suit is not going to be a shove there. So did well to avoid that, and now look where he is. Small decisions. Well, there are no small decisions would be the better way to say it at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. But he does get the opportunity to go on this run here and put himself in great shape.
As we get a shot of all the legends there.
Yeah, absolutely. DJ, Shaw, and Jessica.
And Kyle, of course.
And Kyle. Doing our media stuff here. Peter raised with the Queen of Hearts and a mystery card. Vlad has the Queen of Diamonds, so it's a little bit less likely that he has queens than normal, but
That's true.
it's anything like
33%
normal.
less likely.
Yeah, but Peter has, and the ladies have been loving Peter today.
That's true. I think I saw somebody in the commentary say that set of queens he had was his third set of queens.
Definitely second set, and probably the third time he had queens.
Third
yeah.
time? Okay.
He did flop a set of queens against Birchfield's ace queen, but a jack on the turn gave Birchfield Broadway, so...
And I do want to say that I said somebody that had 1.7 million had 17 big blinds earlier. I recognize that is actually 7.5 big blinds.
The half is important, man. When you get to when you're talking
Well,
about
no. I counted small. I said 1.7 million was 17 big blinds.
Oh.
I counted in small blinds for some reason. So yeah, it was a bit shorter. Now everybody has some chips. Nobody's going to be open shoving for now. We got an open from Chase. He's not a strong hand, but with it, I like him opening up his range. Vlad can't play back at him without reshoving. Oh, he runs into a hand, as everybody that's opened at this final table seems to. Chris kind of only has one play here, right?
pocket nines.
And he surprises us. He calls.
Yeah, I mean, maybe too many chips here. 20 big blinds is maybe too big.
22 even, yeah.
Yeah, too
Or
big
20,
to jam the nines. So.
Oh, 20 and a half, yeah. And then Peter peels.
Queen 6-4 rainbow is the flop, so Chris is in the lead. Not sure if Chase did actually have Jack 7 there and was just making a play, or maybe one of those cards is reading incorrectly.
They're both possible. I wouldn't think he would open it under the gun that often. Could be Jack 7.
So I split 550 out there.
And I guess we did miss his reading a couple ago, so we're going to treat Jack 7 as speculative at this point. It might be Queen Jack of the spades.
Definitely could be. Chris not going to go away with just one bet. Finds a 10 of diamonds on the river. Another overcard, not what he wanted to see necessarily.
Chris is partially able to play a hand like this in this way. Remember the ace-4 wheel he flopped. And whatever Chase has, he's not slowing down. This bet will almost surely win the pot right away. Of course, I've mispredicted Chris's actions a few times. So these people that play a lot of live poker, they sometimes look you in the eye and make the read.
Yeah, absolutely. The
They're not
feel
solvers.
and the energy on the table can make a big difference in how we make our decisions. And Chris, quite experienced, eyeing his opponent, trying to get any sort of read or information.
We're going to get a fold here from the nines. I would put my money on Jack 7 was not our hand there, though. It's not impossible if he did open it in that spot. I even said our way. It's a time where he can start opening. He has the image, he has the stack, he has the position. Jason, even though we know that he had 3 big hands, he didn't show any of them. So the table will partially feel like he just kind of had enough and outplayed them for a bit, even though we know it was king's aces and ace king. Meaning it's hard for him to come at Chase right now, because he knows even though he had it every time, his image is slightly questionable. Vlad's just sitting there trying to be patient. So great spot for Chase to open light. Just, I don't know if he did open Jack 7 off on that. 50-50.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that that was probably not his hand. Vlad's going to get involved with the Queen 10 under the gun here.
Bean says it was definitely Queen we were looking at. I don't disagree, even though there was a dead queen on it. You know, 4 times makes sense. Vlad min raising.
Yeah, and you know, even though we consider this under the gun, right, the computer is going to look at it from the big blind onward. As you know, like when players start disappearing, that under the gun is actually really like a low jack or cutoff range. So
under the gun, low jack are same thing now. And soon under the gun and button will be the same.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's when all the ranges start to get really fun.
Oh yeah, we love shorthanded. And the money gets big.
Who was the dealer?
Yep, if you're just joining us, I'll flash those payouts again. Somebody leaving with a 6-figure score here.
I don't foresee a chop. I don't know if they allow it in this exact event anyway, but I think these guys want to play for this money for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it all kind of just depends on who makes it to the very end and
Sure.
Where the chip counts. If everybody ends up, 3-handed with 30 bigs, some kind of
Chris.
deal could be made.
Chris the card rack at the moment.
Yep, King, Queen of Hearts running into Peter with the Ace of Hearts and a mystery card.
Yeah, having a few too many of those lately.
He's reaching for blue chips, which means that we are going up here.
Which means we can probably confirm that ace.
Yeah, 1.2 million. So we know he probably has at least has one ace. Probably a strong card to go with it.
It's a pretty committal. It's a full 3x3 bet in position. Hard for Chris to go here with King Queen.
Yeah, hard to
doesn't
jam
have
and
much
hard
fold
to
equity.
call.
Hard to call. Makes a tight fold. Ace 3. It was indeed a play by Peter. He was showing a lot of strength with his body language and his sizing, but it was about the weakest ace you can have. And if Chris had found the call, the shove, it would have got a fold. But that's just an example. I see him maybe earlier in the tournament. Chris be very speculative of that 3-bet. I'm sure he was speculative already, but at this point, with these big pay jumps, with these close chip stacks, you do not, Vlad and Chris just can't afford to implode one before the other. It's such, if you ever played 300 Risk, that's what's happening now. You really want the other guys to battle.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-handed Risk. What a comparison. Great strategy game. Just like poker. Poker potentially the greatest strategy game in the world.
Besides war. We need to play some Settlers soon. No, I know that much. So Chris goes ahead and goes for it here.
He
15.5 bigs, King 10 suited. That is a nice correct towards the bottom of the range. Shove here, 5-handed.
Absolutely. And these players, like we said, we've been talking about all of the experience, all of the final tables and earnings on the hidden mob for these players. A lot of casual players may not find the jam with that type of hand in this spot.
I think min raising would have been, especially after he just got 3-bet. And look, he gets the fold from ace 10 off, a pretty quick one, which is also a correct fold, by the way. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, Chris had King 10 suited, but that's, like I said, bottom of his range. Yeah, and something all these players are thinking about when it comes to these 12 to, or even 10 to 15 big blind raises versus shoves is, can you eliminate the top of the range? And in that case, I think you could pretty safely. But
Yeah,
ace 10 still
absolutely.
fold.
Yeah,
Remember,
so that's so
ICM also
successful.
says you don't want to be calling. You want to be shoving. You don't want to be calling light. Pretty much period, as far as all ends.
So Chase here with the ace deuce of spades going to raise.
I would like Jason to give Chase like a good minute tank there. And look at him. He's going to start steamrolling this. Unless people keep picking up hands or somebody puts the brakes on. Yeah, Chase is
Yeah, he's
in a
the
good
lead,
position.
but-
He's on Peter's left. I mean, the two of them have chips, and the other three are all between 15 and 20 bigs. So it's very hard for Peter to open. And once Peter's fold, Chase can safely open a ton of hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen him at different spots be aggressive at this final table, opening hands like 10-8. Definitely using his stack to his advantage. There he goes with the Jack-10 there. I actually do think that was probably his hand.
Yeah, and Jack-7 may have well been too. It may just be turn on the Jets. The thing is, opening under the gun would mean he was opening into Peter's big blind. That's the one spot I think he won't open light.
So take a looking at the V-pips here. Peter on top. He had 37%. Also on top of the pre-flop raising percentage and on top of the 3-bet percentage. No surprise to see Chase right behind him, our two biggest stacks. Again, if you've played with Peter in the past, you wouldn't be surprised to see him at the top of all of those statistics. However, it's not just aggression or style. He has had the hands to go with those raises so far today.
Get a limp here, blind on blind.
Yeah, and so the two big stacks, blind on blind, that's definitely interesting, something to look out for, how that develops over the course of the rest of this final table. 10-8-3 is the flop.
Chase could probably fire a min bet here. Should get the job done. You gotta love Texas poker. Imagine this pot in a Triton 25K. We would still have the small blind having just limped, staring at the big blind who's staring back at him. Instead, we're nice. We're gonna get a flop C bet.
Yeah, absolutely. These players are on the shot clock today as well, so not sure how many of them
And
are
a
used to
fold.
playing with that.
Yeah, I don't think many. It's a fairly new thing. I believe it's the first time we've had it here. It's a WPT thing, right? And they run the Pokeratlas.
I don't know. That might just be a Justin Hammer thing. And I think Hammer is really keenly aware of all sorts of things that make a tournament run more smoothly and that the players actually, I think, end up liking because, you know, again, without the shot clock, it's potential that this final table goes a lot longer. These players have already played for 2, maybe 3 days. This is definitely their third day after playing their day 1 and day 2 flights.
Yep. I know Vlad bagged the first flight.
Oh,
Big,
nice.
big stack.
So that's always nice to get that done early in the week, not have to worry about it, get plenty of days off.
They played Omaha the rest of the week here at the beautiful Texas Card House in the center of Houston.
Yeah, definitely haven't spent as much time dealing as I normally do recently, but definitely came in and saw some monster games going on. So these sort of tour events bring out some big cash game play as well. Chase raising blind on blind versus Vlad. He's got the 10 of diamonds and a mystery card. Let's see if Vlad defends the 8-5 here.
He's shipped.
Yeah, it does not. So kind of been having to be a little bit more submissive than normal today. Usually Vlad is eager to defend the big blind and eager to get involved, but
It speaks to how good he is, though, as much as his nature is to play quite aggressively, hyper aggressively, let's say, and to have the big stack to dominate the table. Even on a heater, even when he doesn't necessarily need the 10K pay jump, even he's able to play correctly on any stack. Well, the A7 was questionable, but in general, I mean, it doesn't mean you play every hand perfectly, but he understands the situation. If they're hoping he's going to spew it off, and Chris thinking, well, this guy has lost half his stack from the final table, he's just going to get 5th by default. I don't think anybody even expects that from Vlad. He's still a threat to win this. He's going to be shoving here.
yeah, absolutely. These 6s are more than likely getting
It's
in.
a tough spot, but probably a call from Chase.
Yeah, 2.6.
It's a tough spot.
I think the blinds did go up. Did they go up this hand? Yeah, I think I do see 250K in the big blind, so the
Okay.
blinds did go up.
Well, then that makes it, instead of
very
13 and a half, it becomes 10 and a half. It's a pretty easy call then from Kingsburg. It's a side call, but it's a call. Chase will make it.
Always easier said than done, though. I mean, don't know if he has any experience with Vlad in particular. There's some tables where at the final table, you know that player is jamming with only the tightest of tight range, and I think you're right. Still, the number of big blinds is really the determining factor there, but it can be a little harder to call with the king jack offsuit.
He's certainly considering it. He lays it down. Makes a tight play. Not saying it's bad by any means. He could afford to call it. We know Vlad's hand, but more important is his range, and I think king jack is doing more than well enough. Probably 50-50 against that range. There's jack 10 suited in there. There's king 9 suited in there.
Would you say that's the worst, probably one of the worst hands he would want to call with there?
King jack off. Sure. Yeah. Bottom of the range, but importantly in there, I think. King 10 suited.
Our boy
That's a
Eddie Millard
button.
in the chat. He's been one of the dealers working hard every day. Thank you for doing that, so I didn't have to
Oh.
as much.
That's Eddie.
Yeah, that's Eddie.
Shout out Eddie. All right, comes Peter under the gun. Kind of probably a little bit tired and knows that his tired of relenting the aggression to chase. So takes the spot under the gun. I like it. His image can sustain this easily. You said 250K big, so went for the min raise plus a chip, and it's gonna get through. That reshove for Vlad is big. We all know Chris was praying for a call. Chris now down to 10 bigs as he posts his extra half big. Vlad up to 14. So we've got to keep a close eye on that as we go forward.
Yeah, Chris was up to what was it, 4.4 million, I believe.
Yeah, exactly
got a
that.
couple double ups through Peter. But again, we're 5-handed and action is happening fast and does not have quite as much cushion as he did a few orbits ago.
If I remember, because I think I planned to get here at 6:30. We're 4 minutes from a break. Jason with ace king on the button. 14.5 bigs.
Probably 4 minutes away live, but we are on the 30-minute delay, so we're a little bit behind
Okay.
the Pokeratlas clock here.
Beautiful.
So Jason does just rip the 3.7 million in with the ace king.
Gets it through. Both players had 2 jack off.
If he didn't have that hand, it would have been fun to see them play blind on blind.
Fun final table spot. Lots of ICM implications here with 2 pretty healthy stacks, 40 big blind stacks, and 3 15 to 25 big blind stacks. Or sorry, 10 now the blinds have gone up 10 to 17. So big pay jumps for anybody. Even these relatively high stakes players. This is the Atlas title event. Beautiful trophy comes with it too. All the trophies are pretty cool. Have the Atlas silver looking statue holding the globe as he is apt to do. The main event one is extra special and massive.
Yeah, as a fan of Greek mythology myself, I am envious of everyone that has gotten one of those trophies. They are pretty cool.
They are. I want the trophy. Maybe next year. This is going to be an interesting spot as Chris shoves his 10 bigs over Jason's open. Here's exactly what we're talking about. Throughout the tournament, if there's 21 left, I think Jason usually has to fall upon to call here. I think here at the final table, he will find a fold.
Fade to the snap.
Yeah, 2.5 million is just probably a little too hefty.
You know, faded the snap, what a thing to say. And it's true, and he really felt it and meant it. What would be funny is if you even fed these into a calculator, you're getting 2.6 to 3.6. So, right, you're getting decent pot odds. Your equity is 40%. So it's a chip call. The calculator would hate you for calling here. You can't, it's an ICM disaster, and we have to fold our hand. I'm telling you, even if you saw the hand and you saw that you're in decent shape. So yeah, he does find the fold. He knows that it sucks because you're opening, you know, you feel like you're opening a strong hand and you don't have the matchups to begin with and you have to fold it with low flop, but that's cards. That's part of why you make it 400k there instead of 500k. I will point that out, but oh, 250 big blind. That would be illegal.
Yeah,
so
illegal.
Perfect
Not
sizing
quite,
from
yeah,
our friend
not
Jason.
quite.
Apologies.
Not quite
There was
legal.
a spot earlier where he, yeah.
Although sometimes the sick underbet just feels like it's too strong. Like, you know it's aces when they're like, oh, is it? Oh, it's
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to put
Oh, I
400k out
have to
there.
raise,
Oh, I
yeah.
have to put 500 now.
Yes, well, part of the live poker thing and part of the reason people like playing here, we're pretty strict on that kind of angle shooting. Don't put up with it. Other
Here
than
with King 5 of Hearts on the button, I think he's going to make a little move with this one.
450. Peter goes.
Oh, see, there's that sick underbet we were talking about.
Yes, so Peter's learning about the concept of the min raise here. Now he realizes 2 big blinds is the least you can make it.
Sick underbet is so strong to me, though. I'd be a little nervous.
Though Vlad, of course, always on level 4, might see that strength as weakness. What do we have? A 9.
9 of Hearts, possibly
We're taking a
defendable.
flop. It's always tough to have one card against your opponent's 2, but we'll see what Vlad can do here. So hopefully for his sake it's an ace or a 7. If it is, he'll probably win the spot. Otherwise, he'll lose it. It's not a 9. We know that. So that would have put the chips in there. It's unlikely to be an ace.
Yeah, I think both of those hands would have been 3-bet jams for Vlad.
If it's an 8, we'll get a call here. If it's a 7, we'll get a jam here. Otherwise, well, what about a 10?
10 could be an interesting float. Vlad is continuing, so...
I'm going with the 10 of spades there. What do you go with, Shanice?
Oh, well, I'm going with Peter is now ahead no matter what Vlad has. King of clubs on the turn. Ignore that 4 of spades on the graphic there. It was actually a king on the turn.
Peter pretty likely to check here, knowing he probably has some showdown value in some scenarios, in some trees that go check, you know, pair 6, check river.
Vlad is a bit of a scary player to try to get thin value against. He is perfectly capable of ripping in face if he so feels.
Oh yeah, and calling light himself.
I think I saw Vlad check already.
He already
so
checked river, so I'm going to go change my 9-10 read to 8-9, since I think he would have at least considered a shove on river with a bluff. King 5's good. 9-7 or 9-10? 9-10, no bluff.
So did that actually put Peter in the lead here, in the chip lead? I think it might. No, not quite. Still 100K behind Chase.
Fumbling too hard in there.
But those two far and away in the lead over the rest of the field. Vlad now just under 10 big blinds. Okay, I see Owen Lynch is watching. Says hi to Dave, but not to me. I'm a little salty. It's fine.
Owen? What's up, Owen? In Colorado? What a Houston native.
One of our fine young men
In uniform, no less.
in uniform serving. Happy Memorial Day.
I won't tell you which branch, except that he soars through the skies like an ancient, chariot dragging his son.
Pew, pew, pew. We will definitely be happy to have you back over the summer.
Yep, summer's here. I was actually looking at the Vegas schedule today. Heart set on June 26th, stud 8.
That's where you're going? That's when you're going?
And that's a week before the main, so see how we're doing. Maybe stick around.
Okay. Bring something home for me.
I know there will be a lot of our locals here up there, including probably every player at this table.
I'm sure all of these players will be parlaying some of this tournament money into a ring or bracelet attempt.
So what's the biggest buy-in Vlad plays this summer in Vegas? 10K or bigger?
Ooh, I don't know.
How much does Vlad trust Vlad? 25K 6 max Vlad?
I think he might play a high roller. I think he might fire at least one or two in one of the high
I hope
roller
he
events.
does. Oh, he's fun. He's a gambler. Knows what he's doing. Riding a heater, it's always a good time to fire.
Yeah, absolutely. As David kind of mentioned earlier, he's fresh off a big PGT first place victory. What was that, only a week or maybe 2 weeks ago? So
200K?
yeah, 200K flat.
Trying to add another 100 to that. And this one can still go anywhere. Vlad down to 9 bigs, but as Shanice mentioned, everyone here has been short at some point in the tournament. Probably that's how tournaments work. And Jason was on 9 bigs earlier. Jace going for, and this time we surely trust it, a steal under the gun. It's perfectly reasonable. He gets it through again. It's facing almost no risk. You know, that's probably why he found the fold with King Jack. I would have called almost for the same reason that he folded. So his image could afford it, and even to fold there. But I would have thought, I've been stealing so often that I need to defend my image here with the call with King Jack. And it was only 2 million of his 12 million. So I think, though, he knows he can pretty much get three-handed with plenty of chips without taking much risk. You know, coolers happen, but otherwise, I think Chase knows he's in a great spot. Peter, of course, in a fine spot, but as I predicted, right, without much happening with either one of them, Peter had Chase outchipped by 500,000. Now Chase has Peter outchipped by 1 million, and that should continue. You know, there's a natural flow in poker from right to left.
Yep, absolutely. That's
It's
how
an
the chips tend to
informational
move.
divide.
So curious what Vlad could have in his hand that he's jamming this deuce of diamonds with. I'm assuming
Ace-2
it's
suited
either
or 2-2.
Yep, it's either an ace of diamonds or another deuce. Jason with the king of hearts and a mystery card.
Hasn't folded it yet.
Nope. I think a jack would have been snap in the muck, or a 10, maybe a queen under there.
Mm-hmm. Tank fold probably a suited jack or a queen, though. There go 2 of them right there. All right. Vlad's going to take it down with a pair of ducks. Well, we got Spurs fans, we got Knicks fans. Don't get Shinny started.
Get me started.
I will say that as much as the West looked like dominant teams all year, the Knicks sure look like a team of destiny. They've been awesome. I'm forced to watch all the basketball here because I'm working anyway. And the Knicks have been impressive. Should be a fun finals. I don't think it'll be a wipeout either way.
I did originally think that the East was just competing to lose to the West, but the Knicks are actually quite a complete team. They're shooting at a incredibly high percentage, potentially one of the best, definitely the best out of all the teams in this playoffs.
They can do it. Cat the point guard. All right, back to the action. You know, we don't have to necessarily know hands, no spots. That's the thing.
Wow, Chase is all in
and
with a
Vlad-
mystery hand, and Vlad laughs with these sevens.
Yeah, because he knows he needs to call here, and he does, and he's gonna. So even a call like this, massively plus GPV, is sure, a ton of that EV is lost by the fact that it's an ICM disaster, but it doesn't matter. You have to win chips in the end to survive ICM anyway, so you have to make this call. Is it a flip? Nope. And that's part of the reason you make it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chase going to be chasing the 3-outer or some diamonds here.
But if you think that's dominant, look, but you know, the equity before the flop, 60-40. That's what we play for here, and
The run out opens up the jack on the river, but
Vlad
it
holds
does
out.
not come. Yeah, the 7s and 10s are the best hand, and Vlad's going to get a double up here. Not the player you want to see double up if you are at this final table.
Mm-hmm. Dangerous before, twice as dangerous now. Chase, certainly no fault in his play. An auto shove there with a 6 suited there for 9.5 bigs.
Got some big shoes to fill, man. We got some good ones out here.
In comes Matty James, our new dealer.
Absolutely. New dealer, probably going to be here for a few minutes until we see these tournament players on a short break.
Like, I was one of the OG, well, not OG, but like the Tony and Bo days.
All right. Vlad settles back in for battle. All 4 players were rooting strongly for Chase there to bink an ace and get this thing four-handed, get a pay jump. But as he often does, Vlad has disappointed them all and is here for the long haul. Back to 23 big blinds. Or where is he at? 22.
He's Ukrainian, so he is a survivor.
So then that's everything changes now. Now you have 2 short stacks with between 12 and 14 bigs, and they both have to shove a little bit wider. They can't count on, that they can't wait. They're not outweighting 2 people; they're outweighting 1. This is a jam from Chris.
Yeah, right as you say that, Chris gets in there with that ace-8 of diamonds.
He knows what he's doing on these push-hold ranges. He does. The King-10 suited was strong. This one a little easier, but and he's gonna get called. The 2 shorties, he's gonna get called.
I don't know if he is going to get called.
He's gonna get called.
I mean, Jason has played pretty patiently at these final
He
tables
has.
from what I've seen. May not like the idea of potentially flipping with 9s.
He doesn't. And the chips haven't already gone in yet, which tells you all that, but you can't fold here. He knows that. He's going to call. If Vlad hadn't just doubled, if Vlad had 1.5 million chips, maybe.
Only has 2.
And I hate to predict so
timing
strong and
distance.
risk being wrong, but we cannot fold here. We cannot fold here.
I hear what you're saying from the theory perspective. I'm just wondering if in the spot this particular player will fold, and I have a feeling like I would not be surprised if we see a fold here.
All right, we're gambling.
Well, we get a call.
He certainly
So
thought about
these
it.
players, based on the graphic, have exactly the same chip count. That's probably unlikely to be 100% accurate, but
It's not far, though.
yeah, it's going to be one player is certainly going to be crippled, if not
Looks
eliminated.
like it may be Jason.
Nasty ace right on the flop comes the 3 outer. So
Joker stars.
9s were doing better than flipping, but we're unable to hold up. So we're going to get the official chip counts and see where we're at.
And that's why he was so tentative to call there with the 9s. He probably figured it was likely to be the best hand. He knew he's ahead of that range. That wasn't the question. It's very risky. You hope, of course, to see 8s or 7s and have a pretty good chance, but a lot of hands are going to be 1 or 2 overs suited, some higher pairs, so it's
First one
risky and indeed pay the price there. I do think he found the right decision. It doesn't always mean you make the most money, but in the long run, it means you did what was right, and I think that was a strong call.
Yeah, absolutely. Poker can be cruel, and like you said, you're not always rewarded for making the right decision there. He is going to be out in 5th is Jason with $23,000 in prize money.
Well,
So
as the proprietor of our nearby neighbor and friend, Champions, as Phil Hellmuth said, if there was no luck, he would win them all. So the fact that Hellmuth hasn't won this tournament already tells us anybody could win it, and any ace could come on any flop.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. He would win them all, he says. I'm starting to not believe that's true. I've seen him play enough to put a bunch of players as more highly ranking than him.
24 bracelets, 27 and a half. He's got a lot of bracelets.
There's a lot of
Hard
bracelets.
to argue with. I don't know if anybody will ever beat that. So I think he generally has 15. All right, we're four-handed now. Vlad is short. I believe that was curtains for Jason, right? 5th place finish.
Yes, 5th place finish for Jason.
And
He is gone.
Which allows Vlad to do stuff like this. This was a beautiful play. It's good work.
Yeah.
And I'll take
so
a quick breather. I feel like a break because 2 players just walked away. A break is pending. And Peter's gonna give a little facial expression here, but he's not gonna call half his chips off with ace-8 off.
Yeah, and we're
Vlad's-
definitely going to see these players open up a little bit. At least Vlad. I'm certain we will see Vlad open up quite a bit, back to closer to his older self.
Well, he's gonna be pretty predictable, right? But by people who know what they're doing, because he's so good. And now that he has 22 bigs, Chris has 25. 24 bigs, and Vlad after that reshove now has 30. Or no, 250 big blind has 27. Sorry if I speak in big blind unease too often. It's just my nature. I played a lot of these little tournaments on the computer back in the day, and still I think so. It's the best way. It doesn't hurt to start thinking in big blinds instead of chips.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're new to that concept or don't do that regularly, you definitely should.
Nowadays, all the online programs, it's nice. You just click on your icon and they think in big blinds for you, so no thinking necessary.
Absolutely. Yeah, was it not like that back in the day? You had to do it all
A
yourself?
walk. The first walk since I've been here.
We're walking a long time.
Oh, yeah, these chips are. As R.I.P. Sklansky said in his opening page, poker begins as a battle for the blinds. So there are not a lot of walks given when there's 250K out there, and each player started with 40,000. ICM teaches us we can't do that math, but yeah, there's a couple $1,000s out there in value each hand, so hard to just let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. We are getting to the nitty gritty.
Getting some Chris fans out there that enjoyed that ace of spades in the window. Was it in the window, left or right? Yeah.
Yep,
I believe
yep.
it was an instant no waiting.
It was the last card. So like I don't think it was a window card, but it just peeled right off on that flop. That's for sure.
Ace of spades, just instantly 2 outs there with the 9s, and good game by the way from Jason. Always a popular player.
Yeah, 13. I love you, Jay.
Race, 800 total. 30 seconds.
So slide over. And then,
Race. 2 million total. Yeah, he's good. Gotcha. 5 seconds. Race. 4 million total. Alright, heads up, gentlemen. Check. Okay. 800K. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. 1.3 million. money, 250,000. Seconds. Time extension. That's a call. On the backs, please. $5,600,000. Too expensive.
Charge them 4.
Take them all. Shit, after that. Biggest fucking call I've ever made.
One an easy one. I think it's kind of bullshit that didn't come a diamond on the turn to make you sweat a little. Well, where's the fun in that? Yeah. No, it's right because it was blind versus blind. So.
Raise. 5 points. All in. Call on the backs.
That's
Same
amazing.
thing he had last time after he lost a big pot.
Above average.
How much?
45, 75. Oh, that's my blind. Praise. Booster again.
Probably wasn't suited.
I mean, put him in the blender, dog. Like, what?
Just one.
It was. It comes Jack 7-4. Like you just win.
No.
If anything,
Kind of planned it, it just didn't work.
yeah, no, you had a plan and you would. I mean, hey, look. If anything, you gave the fans what they wanted. They were all going, do it, do it.
I tried. Yes, it didn't work.
Like, back in my mind, I'm like, I know he wants to bluff me one time because of yesterday.
He gave a hell of a run at him, man. That was me and Ladder were like, oh, he's got 2 aces.
I didn't say that.
I did.
Check. That's 250. good. Want me to do chip count?
11,250.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Trying. Is there a way to do it? Oh, there we go. You said what?
11,250.
That's what he's got. That's what he's got. Yeah. Hold on. What was it? 11,250,000.
I believe it's 14.025.
14,025. Is that right?
I believe so. You can make sure.
Yep. Got some. I'll get this number going. Again. Hold on one second. I'm getting used to doing this. 14 million. Yep. So, 0.25. Okay. Okay.
Wasn't it?
5,175,000. Okay, thank you.
You're still you? Or you're James? Good money.
Dude, these cards are the worst freaking things to shuffle. I know I'm not the best shuffler. I ain't that bad either.
It's like you can't even pick them up to.
They're so thick.
Oh yeah, rip order. Like they don't feel easy or difficult.
Hey, I will say this though, they should have like trained us with this shot clock before.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
it still takes getting used to.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Just a matter of fact.
Sounds good. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man.
See, now you got a professional coming in.
Chris told me to talk to you about the shot.
Yeah, so you know,
15 pre-flop, or
15 so
30 flop turn river.
we'll just work through. Matt, go ahead and get.
I already know how to use it.
Yeah, so appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah,
At least you knew what I was gonna ask.
if there's a raise and a re-raise, then they get 30 seconds. So like if Chris raises, he re-raises, and he gets 30 seconds for pre-flop. When it gets to 5 seconds, you can announce 5 seconds. If it hits 0, you say time extension and automatically give them the 30-second time extension. Unless, except because Vlad doesn't have any more time extensions, if his clock is 0, his hand is dead. It's aggressive action. Non-aggressive action is automatic check. But everyone else, you just say time extension, automatically give them another 30 seconds, and then at the end of their action, you pull them the time extension, collect whatever they owe.
Okay.
If you have any questions, ask me. I'll obviously
Big hand. I was all cocked and ready to go.
Two calls, short end,
Insane, bro. Insane.
It's okay. Like I did it before. I'm pretty good at these. Let's see if it works again.
How many times you have queens at the final table?
Oh, yeah. Take a guess whose hands whose. Very great sign. 1.8. God bless.
1 million. 1.8 million.
He had 2 queens 2 hands ago. Now he's got 2 aces.
Peter?
Easy. Go here, buddy.
GG, Chris.
Yeah, why would you just do that shit?
That's 700,000. Two calls, 700,000. Two checks. Five, that's 2.2 million. Dead button and seat one. Small blind, big blind. That's our dead button. Yeah, that's one small blind. Seven raised for 725,000.
And Chaser playing a little more precise on the sizings and the frequencies, but certainly anybody's game as Vlad opens up to 725 here with ace 8, and Peter just calls small blind with 8s.
Sorry about that. If you guys weren't able to hear us in the booth since the break, I think it should be fixed now.
Oh, it just came back?
Yeah.
We said so much great stuff.
I know. You guys missed. It's okay, though. It's okay. There's
I'm worried about
lots
it.
of great poker. Yeah, lots of great poker still.
For you and me only to know all those secrets. That was another semi-interesting pot there where Peter just chose to flat from the small blind with 8s against Vlad's open. It did allow him to get away cheaply on a bad flop, ace-king flop. More standard would probably be the 3-bet there. So let's go back over stack sizes since we are now live on the commentary, not just the play. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for everyone in the chat joining us. Please like, please subscribe the channel. New Texas Card House content almost every day from across all the locations across Texas.
Oh goodness, so we missed the Chris hand.
Yeah,
Aces.
yeah,
Well,
we missed Chris
hopefully
going
you're all
out.
watching it all, and well, we won't go back and regale you with our opinions, but plenty of interesting play so far.
Yeah, the
Now-
cards kind of spoke for themselves. Unfortunately, we lost RGB Chris.
Right, but a great run. 32K score. We were commenting on what he would probably enjoyed doing with that money, but we'll leave all that in the past. Three-handed now. Everybody's got enough chips that we don't have any open shove stacks at the moment. ICM, while not out the window, is much less relevant now than it has been throughout the final table. We're pretty much playing for chips right now.
Yeah, everybody has won at least a car.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to try to play for the trophy. It's less about money and more about that end result.
Nobody's going to be walking home. So we get a raise, a min raise on the button from Chase, and a call from Peter.
Jack 9 of diamonds for Chase, 10-9 for Peter. Neither player connects majorly with the flop.
All right, but of course the flop that almost in a picture-perfect fashion favors the pre-flop raiser's range. Also tends to favor the person in position, both of which are Chase here. And Peter decides not to make another play. Peter is down to about, I think, 17 big blinds after that defend and fold. 16 even. Vlad with just under 40. Chase with just over 50. Vlad easily passes on the 4-2. And we'll get a limp from Peter. He was probably planning on calling a shove this time if Chase set him up like he did last hand, which, if you saw, Peter limped Queen 7 and Chase jammed King 3.
It looks like Peter's 100% limping his small blind, or at least so far. Let's see if he continues with that strategy or decides to change things up at some point.
Yes, I mean, it's generally a pretty modern and valid strategy. Of course, in this set of hands, it includes the 2-3 of diamonds that we played earlier, so it hasn't worked out great for Peter, but it is a valid strategy in general, and Chase has been playing aggressively against it, to be fair, and well.
Yeah, I mean, against an aggressive big blind, I think I would continue to use it, and then you give yourself opportunities to re-raise with your better hands. Again, maybe not the 3-deuce suited. We'll probably leave that one alone in future, but King Queen on the button here, a premium. Vlad is going to play defense here. Actually, no, more than defense. He's going to play offense.
A snap 3-bet that sticks Peter all in, and Peter finds the call.
Wow, so Peter all in and ahead with King Queen versus 9-7 for Vlad.
Yeah, picks the wrong spot. Peter doesn't think twice about finding the call. He was the shortest of the 3 stacks, and we'll see how the board runs out. That's a good flop for Vlad. Going to be a little bit ahead.
It's hard to flop a pair in this game.
Face card, or it's going to be curtains. And it looks like a boat. 10's full of 9s for Vlad. The 10 comes on the river, according to our card reader.
Wow, so Peter unfortunately eliminated with the best hand there. Made the right call.
Well, Joe's counting chips. Yes, it's a jack on the river.
So
slow
the graphic slow roll does. That was a jack on the river. Wow.
I was thinking if we're doing any counting here, that would seem to imply that Peter won the hand.
Wow.
And deservedly so. Deservedly so.
Yeah, absolutely. So the story of the best hand holding up actually happens there. Finds the face he needed on the river. And Peter ahead of Vlad now with 9 million, just over. Vlad was 7.3. Again, I've seen Vlad survive for multiple levels on 5 big blinds, so not concerned that he's the shortest stack here if you're
No.
if you're a Vlad fan.
They're all on 30 now, 30 plus. This is poker. Chase finds a relative monster considering he's been opening almost every button.
Thank you.
You think
Definitely playing real poker now.
absolutely. Peter's thinking probably mostly about defending here. Nope. Here come the blue chips, the green chips.
Raises to 1.6 billion.
A small 3-bet out of position.
Poker being played.
Yes, I think
5 goes
I
all.
don't like this spot for. Yep. Chase
Almost
is-
no hesitation. Chase rips that ace 10 in.
Maybe against a lesser player, but Chase is zoned in. He's picking up on Peter. Sizing tells a bit, I'm afraid. It's almost the same thing he did last time as far as sizing, quickness, out of positionness with 3-2. And Chase says, oh yeah, well, I saw that, so I do this. It's really not that complicated. It's a bit of a gift there, and we could have called. But such is life. Aggressive mistakes have a chance to win pots, but Chase is just finding the right play almost every time. So he has it now in a spot where he can really abuse them both, and they're both of the second and third place player are disincentivized from playing pots against Chase. ICM's back in the picture a bit. So that pitches the 9 deuce. We'll probably get a limp here from Peter, won't we?
Absolutely. Keeping with that strategy, has the jack 8 again. Chase with 9-4. Probably not going to be able to do. You know what? He's got the chip lead, so let's do it.
If he had a little better, if he had 9-6 off here, he might check in C3. He's so bottom 15% of hands that he decides to go ahead and play this aggressively.
So this is, as you said, we are definitely going to be playing poker with these 3.
Limp call from Peter. As we see 3. So there are hundreds of thousands of possible flops. There's one of them. Nobody hits anything.
Yep, Queen 5 deuce rainbow.
I hate to quit harping on it, but here, we're going to see the same issue from Peter, and this time, he's going to lose to rags. For the,
You would have preferred him to lead, or
well,
600,000.
maybe put in a re-raise?
you know,
3
I would
pre-flop?
be getting hammered by Chase right now too, so I'm not sure what to tell him. I mean, limp shove might have been a reasonable play there, even with a hand. I don't know. It's easy to play when you're a pot ripper, and here he goes, floating, raising, 1.5 million. He says, excellent. He does not have any breaks. He makes an excellent read of his own, playing back at Chase here for 1.5 million.
These 3 are going to be after it, that is for sure.
Can Chase do anything but fold here? Probably not. It would be, next level if Chase had found anything but a good play by Peter. Everything that I'm saying is happening in patterns. These players are even more aware of it than we are, and Peter's not scared to react to it. This guy's taking advantage of my limps. That is a high, low flop. He's unlikely to have hit it. I'm going to put out a raise there. And for Peter, he doesn't seem to be too concerned with putting on a raise that's a fairly significant amount of his chips as a pure bluff, which has a certain power to it because people won't expect it.
Yeah, I mean, at this 300K level, on paper, it's a decent amount of blinds to play with for everybody, but in real chips, when you raise 1.5 million, that's about a fifth of your stack. It's quite heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So every decision matters.
He had about 3.2 behind when he made that raise.
Queen Jack, an interesting hand for Vlad here in the big blind. Chase has raised ace-6 out of the small blind.
2.5x. Likely to see a call here.
We do indeed. We're
Just
going to a flop.
A hand that flops so well in position. Though not in this instance, of course. It's quite a good flop for Chase with backdoor clubs and a gutty and ace high all going in his favor. It's a flop you don't always see bet as the aggressor, though I imagine he will here. Let's see,
Yeah, I think he
6.
just has too much of it. That ace of clubs, a key card.
He may already be thinking in his head, if I get rate. Oh, wow. That's a pretty big C bet. It's a very big C bet. Over 3 big blind. If the graphic is correct.
Yeah, trying to portray
Over
strength
4.
here, and I have noticed that with his bet sizing that his larger continuation bets are actually tend to
Look
be
at
his
that.
weaker
These
hands.
players are so solid and so still. I thought our screen was frozen temporarily. And yeah, we have true professionalism right here between the dealer and players in this situation. So yes, we haven't always had the most massive TV showing. They haven't put us on ESPN just yet, but this is just under tried and as good as it gets, if you ask me.
I do believe the main event is going to be on ESPN this year, so hopefully
Yeah,
that kind of regenerates another little poker boom.
For free, no account needed. Yeah, they tried all that nonsense, elitism, and got squashed. I think it's not just the main event, too. I think daily they're going to have feature tables, different games, Omaha final tables that you can just pull up and watch either on YouTube or ESPN. If anybody knows more than that, let us know. But, yeah, I know players in general are excited about the coverage and ability for players to watch it with commentary throughout the summer.
Yeah, it was definitely unfortunate to kind of have everything be limited to only Poker Go. I mean, I do see what they were trying to do, and, you know, everybody wants their own streaming service, but a more egalitarian, I mean, you know, as a poker player, you want as many eyes on poker as possible because it's such an enthralling game.
As Chase says, min-raise fold, ace-6 off. Vlad finds the shove with king-9 suited. Backing up, I think, we might have not actually been live on our commentary, but I had mentioned that an ace-6 shove that Chase made blind on Vlad was due to the fact that he would reshove, that Vlad would reshove a nice aggressive range. Vlad woke up with jacks, doubled up, which is part of why we are where we are now, but that was a perfect example of why, because in that spot, Chase did go ahead and min-raise the ace-6, and Vlad stuck it in his face with king-9 suited and won the pot. That's part of why he shoved the ace-6 in the first place is, you know, respect of his opponent's aggression. So Peter setting it up with the limp. Did he min-raise?
Actually, no, he min-raised, so he changed the strategy with a stronger hand. I know you're probably, I guess, not as big of a fan of that, but...
Yeah, let's not give away our hand too early if we can help it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
Definitely feels like a stronger hand from him. Does flop the ace on ace-4 deuce, 2 diamonds.
This will go bet fold.
2 bets, 450,000.
Okay, good sizing. Nice on the small side. Does Chase peel one with king high? Probably doesn't. He's been so solid, so strong, and hasn't been too cute. Yep.
Yeah. Would have liked to see Peter continue his limp strategy. Yeah,
I mean, Chase could have got super creative there. King 9's a strong hand. He at least could have got a limp 3-bet in. Shoot, I would have loved a limp call. You know, as it happens. But he did go ahead and min-raise. He's mixing up his strategy. I'm not saying he's predictable. He's a little bit, playing a tiny bit sporadically.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to see that he had the top end of his potential range on that particular hand, but no issue there with.
Of course, if you had 2-3 suited, you know, what would we be saying? He's totally unpredictable and can do anything. Because there's some of that in here. As if to prove a point, here he is with 7-3. Running into ace-king suited Chase. 8.5 million. So we're going to get a 3-bet. What's our sizing here? Okay, so Chase did time bank. I thought that was his hand, so I was going to say he did not have ace.
No, definitely not his hand. He's got those gripped in the right.
We would probably want to go 2.4 here.
2.4, is that a little big? A little heavy?
Out of position.
Out of position, that is true.
The button against a sticky player. I like 2.4-ish.
Looks like you did
2.2.
2.2.
He's better
in
than
your
me.
neighborhood.
Yeah, he's very good. Maybe 2.4 looks like it's not big pairs often. The thing is, Peter, pretty quick player. Don't want to say he's not a thinking player. He is, but very decisive. I would size up a bit to adjust for his looseness, but let's see. Here we go. We get flatted.
Yeah, getting the call here with the 7-3 of hearts.
I believe this is the exact hand he knocked Dalton out with.
Oh yeah, 7-3 or 7-4-1.
Yep.
Yeah, one of our good friends also played in this tournament. Was eliminated by Peter.
7-3 against Ace King, actually. But this one's going to go differently as Chase finds a smart check back. Not the turn he was hoping to see, but basically this is a situation where you call way ahead, way behind, right? We have Ace King. We're way ahead of everything that isn't a queen or aces. And we're way behind. I mean, we're way ahead of everything that isn't, and we're way behind any queen. So that's when you often want to check back, give them rope. The equity dispersion is usually 90 plus and 10 minus. Let them put chips in. After Peter checks the turn, sure, you need to go ahead and put in some chips. You can get called by a 10. You need to get value from a worse ace. Peter can do anything with any hand. That's a dramatic raise.
That is a raise, yeah. So Chase checks the ace, queen, queen flop. Bet 1.2 on the turn and gets Peter to raise with 7 high.
It's lovely. I mean, goodness, does Peter apply pressure? He's got his foot on the gas. He did it with Jack 8 on Queen High a few hands ago. Does Peter shove river? Will it work if he does? Those are kind of the two questions we're looking at. I'm going to go with no and no.
Yeah, I would agree.
Though I don't know. If we raise turn with 7-3, maybe we're planning on the blast off.
Chase checks the turn. Let's see
The thing is, Chase called.
what Peter does.
Turn was our chance to beat. Turn was a chance to make Chase fold if he had nothing. Clearly does not have nothing. Yeah, we're going to check back. Turn was the chance. And Ace King's going to win another sizable pot for Chase here. Putting Peter down to 15 bigs. Bull, horn, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase.
And just look at Vlad. You know, we haven't said his name for the last 8 pots. That's because he understands ICM. These two guys are happy battling. No one's happier than Vlad. If you can autopilot into second place in the tournament, you do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Min raise 3 high from Chase. Standard procedure. Oh, Peter.
With them queens again. The ladies are all over him today.
Every time he's lost a 5 million chip pot, which is 3 times here since I've been here, he has picked up queens plus. 3-4-3.
Right after with the red bones this time.
How about 1.5 million? And you know,
Can Chase call this here on the button?
it's half Peter's chips. So I'm gonna say no.
900K to win 2.5 million.
Yeah, it's a little nuts though.
Peter's gonna have.
We'll see. I'll stay here with you as long as Chase is in. I'll stay here with you. We'll see how many of his plays we can predict. He's locked in. He's locked in.
Definitely.
I don't really know Chase. I've seen him play a few times, but I do like his game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my first time really ever seeing him or getting to watch him play up close, but have definitely been impressed. Like I said, only 164,000 as far as his Hendon mob. A lot of that recently acquired from that heater tournament in Biloxi, but I have a feeling he will be playing quite a few more tournaments and doing well. So someone to look out for. Peter goes back to limping the small blind with ace king.
Ooh.
Chase has queen 4 of hearts and does outflop the AK 874.
Are we gonna check back? Yep. Okay. I almost missed. Oh boy.
Another 4. That could spell trouble for Peter if he decides to
Peter
start getting aggressive. He does not.
wisely checks, knowing he's way ahead, way behind. Wow. Sticks him in. I mean, we limped on.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to put something out there once you make trip 4s on the turn.
We limped on ace king, and we're just gonna fold on this board. Feels gross, but it was absolutely correct.
1000% correct there.
And Chase shows the 4, as if to say, you know, I know I've been getting you all day, buddy, but I've had it a bunch too. And he has. When they've taken 3-bet and 4-bet flops, he's flop top pair. When Peter's picked up, it's really a compliment to Peter's play that he's still in 3-handed, even though he's lost quite a few big pots. He's a battler. He's picked up big hands when he's needed to be fair, but that's part of what it takes to win Tembies. Limp here from Chase. Vlad happy to take a flop with a hand that flops well. Again, Vlad wants to see these two guys get all in before he puts.
5-bet, 700,000. Five raises to 600,000. Seven goes all in. Fold of around. Seven raised to 600,000. Two folds. Five raises to 1.8 million. Two raised to 750,000. Five folds. Fold of around. Five folds.
ODB. What? We also have Upeshka de Silva, who's won 3 bracelets. There's a lot of good Houston players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ray
Thank you guys
Hinson's out
for
there winning tournaments.
Thank you guys for keeping us on track with the audio. For some reason,
The most astute possible thing at any given moment. What's that, a 9 of clubs or spades on the turn?
super smart things always being said. That's the 9 of spades on the turn.
So that's good. If you're Vlad, you did not want to see a club that could hurt your action. Assume Vlad will bet about half pot here. The stack to pot is a little over 1-to-1. Pot too strong to jam, I think. I'll bet.
7 bips,
Yep.
1.2 million.
Just under half pot. 1.2. You don't like Peter's spot here. We were trying to fix our chords. I didn't see why he didn't shove free, but
2 calls.
calls.
So really looking for a queen
Yeah.
and a queen alone to take this pot from Vlad.
Boat for Vlad. He'll shove. It's almost a spot where you could check river, but with both the draws missing, the problem is you don't want to miss any value from King X. So you'll get a shove. 10% chance Peter finds a hero call to end his night, but I think it'll go shove fold pretty reliably here.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to call off with just ace jack high here.
That's a lot going on this board.
7 goes all in.
Sometimes you would be good. Jacking up, jack 8, jack 7, 6, 7, 7, 8. Ace 4 clubs, ace 7 of spades, etc., etc. He's gonna think about this hard. He does have the second nut, no pair, and Vlad wouldn't shove a 9 or any pair besides a king or a 10 that had showdown value. Peter knows this, I assume, so he's only losing to somewhat polarized range. I mean, he's losing to the value end of a somewhat polarized range and beating the entire bluffing side of it. Vlad obviously has a full house, and that's the top of that range, but would not be shocked. I'm going to put the call percent from 10 up to 30. His
Yeah,
body
it's
language
definitely
almost
tough.
says that he is feeling like a call here, like he's going to make his stand.
Extension number 1.
Stuck under 8 big blinds. If he does fold, you can understand. These lines of thinking. Was Delta Monster pre-flop on the short stack, and it hurts to fold here. It's going to hurt worse if he calls, though. Bad boy. Yes, epic legend.
I mean, if we're being
We were
results based, he's up there.
Well, we were talking best player in Houston, not the universe. Okay, so Peter does find the fold. What did I just probably kick my wire again? Peter does find a fold. Good fold. After playing this long, this hard against a tough player on your left, going up and down, he's making a lot of right decisions, and deserves his payday. So it'll be Peter on the button there. Apologies for missing that hand pre-flop. I'm guessing it went limp. Make it 700. Raise a little too small, and Vlad called. And it almost must have been. Is it? Oh, I can hear myself now. There we go.
Blinds are up, everyone. 200, 400, 400.
Chase gets a walk. You think it's all this? Well, good. We'll just respond to them with voice.
Yeah, I think we should be back, guys. Sorry about any of the audio issues. We should definitely be getting the table, so if you're not hearing anything, it might be on your end, but we have had some in and out with the commentary audio, but we are here for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
We're not leaving you.
Three-handed, always even, starting fresh. Here's Peter jamming. So we just had a hand where Peter made a strong fold on the river with ace-jack, beating Vlad's bluffs, losing to Vlad's value. Vlad had a full house, so good fold from Peter, but left him with 8 big blinds, which just went in here. Good shove blind on blind. Vlad has to fold 10-8, and Peter's back up to 10 bigs. So let's talk ICM. Sorry about that. That was awful. Mi culpa, con permiso. So back to talking ICM again. Like I said, it was gone for, never gone, but tournaments unless it's winner take all, there's always ICM. But certainly back on now.
Chase has a cute hand, 10, 8 of spades on the button. Know it's going to be raised at least.
I know he's going to open this. But yeah, a spot where even more than before, Vlad doesn't want to tangle with Chase. It has a ton of reverse incentive to do so. He's going to make Peter and Chase get all in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Peter with the sub 10 blind stack. Vlad's going to try to stay out of the way. 9
Double
flops.
gutty for Chase. This is an amazing flop for Peter, and almost surely going to be a spot where we get all in on a flop.
Yeah, I don't see any other way to go about this. Too much hand
Chase
for both
takes
players.
the free one. I actually was thinking about reversing my, because it's a great spot to take a free one with a double gutty. Now this turn, I imagine he will almost surely. I shouldn't say almost surely. I keep being wrong, but this turn favors Chase's range. Peter's checked twice. We're gonna put out 2 big blinds.
He's gonna bet it. If Peter jams here, is he able to fold? I just don't think he has enough.
It'll be 1.3. Oh, he's gonna have to do some raw calculation. I mean, as we can see, Peter happens to have a hand that absolutely crushes him. Against something like Ace-2, he's doing better because he has 8 outs instead of 6, and he folds. It was pretty close, 1.1. No, I mean, as we saw, his equity did not merit a call there. He probably wishes he took 2 free ones. But good poker there by both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So Peter now with 11 big blinds and chains. Blind did just go up, I believe, to 200K, 400K.
Oh boy.
So new blind level, more pressure on everyone.
Yep, million chips out there to start the pot.
Vlad now sub 20 big blinds as well.
Glad he knows that means. Okay, here's the limping strategy from Peter. On 12 bigs. Chase ripped King 3 before for 16. I imagine he'll be ripping King 7 for 12. That's that. It's a lot of brown chips moving over without seeing a flop. So if you win pots like that, you don't even have to run that great to dominate a final table. You know, Chase hasn't been picking up aces, kings, or queens. He did have a ace-king where he won a pretty big pot, but he's mostly been winning pots without showdown, using his position, using his stack, playing nice poker. Happy to see it. Because
Yeah,
this
so
tournament...
This has been quite an interesting final table, no matter where you slice it.
Yeah, in the tournament this big, a 3-dayer, we had a lot of satellite winners, players of all variety and skill levels. Oh, here we go. Chase went for the steal, Vlad gonna shove, Chase gonna fold.
Yep.
And writes itself. But yeah, we had a whole wide, with $80 satellites running the last few weeks, $100 satellites, mega satties.
Sweats as well, don't forget the sweats.
People winning on line seats. And you see it as you do so often. Here we have, you know, some of the better players here in the final 3 battling it out. Cream often rises to the top. Even though all that luck, the slight skill edge they have, pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. At the final table, we had, you know, players like Vlad still with us with 1.2 million in earnings, Chris Birchfield with almost $1 million, and we had 2 players with less than 15K in live earnings. So making their first major tournament final table appearances.
This is just what Vlad's hoping for. Every couple orbits, pick up a strong hand that he's happy to rejam over and open. Pick up enough chips to continue to wait until Peter and Chase get all in.
That's all he needs right now. Vlad is a dangerous player at all times, but certainly heads up. A lot of times the most aggressive player wins the heads up battle, and he has no problem being that most of the time. Jams in the small blind here for 3.9K with the queen 5 and gets Peter off of a king high hand.
Not Steve Nash approved shove, but we're in there.
I do. Y'all keep me posted. I'm giving my full attention to these 3 players at this final table, but my heart is with the San Antonio Spurs in Oklahoma City right now. So keep me updated on that score if y'all don't mind from time to time.
Is it 2-2 or?
It is. It is 2-2.
Been great games.
Fantastic games. Yeah, I was actually able to go to Game 3 in San Antonio. I was on the fence about if I wanted to try to go on Friday or Sunday. I picked the Friday game. Would have preferred to go Sunday and see the win, but...
Do you think we see... So Peter's instinct has not been to jam all in. He seems to be a guy who values his last chip a lot. So I'm not surprised to see here a somewhat strange raise to 1 million instead of just a jam for 11 bigs. I don't know. TJ Cloutier used to always 4X, and he said that way you had to win less pots. So there's a logic behind every strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, valuing the last chip, you know, and that survival instinct, it can.
I just think when you make it a million there, you really need to know. You need to have a plan for if the jam, and I feel like he might have gone to the tank. Stuff to put in. Okay, Chase, blind on blind with 8s. Goes ahead and just shoves on Vlad for almost 30 big ones.
Yeah, Vlad has a decent amount of chips now.
He does. I wouldn't mind setting him up a little bit more there or just raising, but he just gets it over with. I mean, I think I saw that. Yeah, almost.
Closer to 20. 22 he has.
Well, isn't... Oh, 400K. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
we're up
yes.
to 400K now.
Okay.
It's huge.
Okay, makes more sense. So it was about 24 before that hand. And seems perfectly reasonable. Wouldn't have minded a raise, planning to get it in. I mean, you're jamming, so you're willing to get it anyway. Why not widen this range a little bit with a limp shove or a raise to 4-bet? Here's Chase with a monster.
On the button, yeah, ace-jack on the button for Chase. He's going to raise, and let's see if Vlad picks up ace-9.
Ooh, that's a nice fold from a good player. He's already rejammed twice. If he hadn't, he might have taken that spot. It's a nice, I mean, it looks easy, I guess, but it's a good fold from ace-9.
Peter dominated with jack-9, and one of his 9s has been folded.
That's a shove and a call, 3-out situation.
2 outs really.
As good as Vlad's shove was, Peter's... As good as Vlad's fold was, Peter's shove here is about as bad. He needs to call there, but now he's going to need a 9 or an 8 to stay alive.
Yeah, flop gives him the 8 as another out. 10-7, 4-4 the run out.
All right, that's going to be curtains for Peter.
Yeah.
Going to be heads up. Vlad going for back-to-back Houston titles, trying to be the king of Houston and join UGK in their next concert.
So Peter, a battler, fought back from a short stack after an aggressive play with 3 deuce of diamonds didn't go his way. Still managed to get another pay jump or 2 after that, and now we are heads up.
Highly entertaining player. Good game, Peter. Congrats on the over $46,000 to take home today. So that takes the sting off of losing a little bit.
Yeah, Peter was the polarizing figure at our final table. Had a lot of fans in the chat, had a lot of chatters and haters in the chat potentially as well, you could say.
Well, he created a lot of action, so that's always going to make people get deep into their emotions, me included. I was a fan. Now, as a professional commentator, I felt like I needed to comment fairly on his play, and I don't think it was on necessarily the right play at the right time, but he was not scared to pull the trigger. He made some great bluffs that I didn't even think he would be capable of, and definitely deserves his finish and a good score. And it was sure fun to watch, Peter was. But we got now a heads up of 2 of the best players in the field playing for over $100,000 to the champion, a big Pokeratlas trophy, and let's see what we're going to be starting here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we're going to be setting up the final table. We're going to be hosting bringing the trophy out, putting it in between these players, and getting them ready to play heads up.
And Vlad's at 9 million or so?
I believe so, yeah. I just saw he had 8.8, so I don't remember if he's paid a blind or anything since then. So
he is facing
Chase
a
with
bet,
the major
it's an
advantage
automatic
here.
win, okay?
Has
Um,
about a 3-1 chip advantage over Vlad, but again, Vlad is an aggressive player, a well-studied player.
Absolutely, one double up in there, even.
15-second flop turn river all the same.
Should be a good fight.
On the flop, you put out the flop, you play, it's the same thing.
Have you played a lot of heads-up poker in your day?
I have. That used to be one of my favorite kinds of poker. Was one-on-one. Cash games mostly, but certainly been headed up in a tournament or two as well. I think Vlad, being the hyper-modern player he is, will be limping almost every button. But I don't know. I haven't seen him heads up in tournament, so we'll see. I imagine Chase will stick to the min raises, though he may also switch to limping. 20 to 30 big blinds in particular. If you look at the high stakes online cash games where people play cap, and it's a heads up situation, they're going to employ a limping strategy. That said, you can min raise fold to 25 big blind shoves quite a few times without it hurting too much, as long as you can call once and in the tournament. So I wouldn't blame either player for either strategy. We'll definitely be seeing lots of flops either way, because they're deep enough that it's not just going to be shoving.
5 and 7, right?
Or maybe we'll only see one flop, This could be
heads up is
2 hours. It could be 2 minutes.
exactly what I was going to say. Chase does have that 3-1 chip advantage over Vlad right now, but if Vlad gets one double up, they will be even in chips. That's how it works. So definitely going to be curious to see if Chase just goes majorly aggressive, tries to knock Vlad out right away, or if he knows that if he doubles him up, he's now going to be facing a true battle with another Titan. So while they're setting up, I am going to take this opportunity to check on my kiddos, my Spurs.
Your 7-4 kiddos.
They're so young. They're so talented.
A little injured at the moment.
I think
Fox
we're
back?
not.
Is Champagne?
Fox
Everybody's playing tonight?
Yeah, Fox came back the last 2 games. He only missed game 2. And Dylan Harper did have a leg injury, but he has been playing through it. And the OKC is actually a little bit more injured than the Spurs. Technically, Jalen Williams still out.
Mm-hmm.
One of their other guards, Mitchell, out as well. So I don't know if either one of them came back for this game. I think Jalen Williams is probably going to miss this whole series. He's got multiple hamstring issues going on. So
Yeah, 46K. More than you're going to win in about 95% of tournaments if you get first place around the city. So I don't think anybody's going to shed a tear for Mr. Peter, including himself tonight. That's a fantastic score.
yeah, considering the roller coaster ride he was on all day today, actually, I don't know how much of that beginning you saw, but he got pretty short, still 9-handed with.
Do we have live
losing with
VPIP
kings,
numbers?
queens, and jacks.
Or is that beyond our technique? Because he must have played, I know they got shorthanded, but he must have played about half the hands that I watched. He must have been in that 40% VPIP range. He was definitely here to play.
Yeah, he was close. I don't know towards the end, of course, like as the table whittles down, the numbers get more skewed, but he was definitely at 37%. The last time we were able to look at that.
Limping all those small blinds, of course, is gonna raise that number without putting too many chips in the pot. But the Jack-8 suited hand, that was a check raise with air that worked. The 2-3 suited hand, a 4-bet, and a blast off that didn't, a check raise on the flop that didn't work. Some really exciting, fun plays. Picked up queens a couple times, kings once that really, or what was it, queen 3 times perhaps, that kept him afloat. So yeah. Good score, good game. Certainly kept it interesting. Hasn't been, from what I've seen, the most chatty or animated final table, so nice of him to give us some color with these pretty stern professional pros here, wearing the shades, being from Europe, etc., etc.
Yeah, besides Chris, not too much talking, not too much chatter. I don't think Vlad said a word.
No, Chris was having to talk to employees and delivery people and whoever else would strike a conversation. And I think this heads-up battle will be the same. Both these guys definitely want to win, don't have any fear, and think they're going to win. So we'll get to see in just a few minutes what kind of strategies they employ, which of the 52 cards they get dealt. All right, bro. Tap gloves.
I mean, I want to win,
All right.
so, but
Yep, touch gloves before we get into the ring for that Atlas trophy.
As y'all can see, the massive
good competition, baby.
19-pound
Either way,
main event trophy out there. With
That thing
the,
weighs 19 pounds? No way. Not for
no,
real. Okay.
only 14% of my facts are true. As we get
See,
it
is that even true?
right. Well, it depends if it's in the 14 or not.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That's right. All right, guys. Heads up for rolls. Over $100,000 at stake. It's still a massive life-changing score, even for somebody who may have had a $200,000 score in the same month. So big money, good players, new dealer. Let's get it on. So let's see. We'll know right away if Chase, because this would be a clear limp if you're planning on limping a lot. So Vlad, wait, call. No, big blind can't call heads up. Or, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure out exactly what happened there. 5-4 ace is the flop. All black. Red cards in hand for both players. Chase has a gut shot to the 3. I guess technically so does Vlad, although
All right,
Chase's is higher.
It went limp and check, so there's 1.2 out there. And I think both players will limp. They're both pretty modern. And the reason for that, by the way, in case you're wondering out there, is hold'em hands generally stink, and you want to be raising a lot on your button or playing a lot on your button. So it's been figured out long ago, if you're at 20 big blinds or a little lower and you're min raising a lot, the other player can just shove on you with a huge variety of hands, forcing you to either gamble or basically give away 2 big blinds on a bunch of hands, and it ends up being really stinky poker. So what you do to counter that, even though standard procedure says be the opener, don't be a limper, you go ahead and limp almost all your buttons. So if they want to shove, they're risking just as much to win half as much. You get to see a lot of flops in position, and then of course you can trap with your strong hands in this manner. And it's basically been employed between 15 and 35 big blinds as the optimal heads-up strategy, especially in the ante game where you almost never want to be folding open folding button. So.
Yeah, so 100% almost the small blind is the button in this case when you're playing heads up. So 100% limp out of the small blind is the strategy.
I should have been watching this hand cluster. We obviously have 5 million in the pot, 1 million to start, which means I think Vlad bet flop and Chase bet turn. Is that right? It's probably not.
I think
Vlad's now bluffing. Let's just pick it up here because Vlad's now bluffing with the best hand. And it's basically a matter of can Chase on the first hand of heads up find a sick check raise on the river. And it would be sick. And it wouldn't shock me either.
I think our
I'll say
original
wow.
graphic was a little backwards because I
Okay.
thought that it had that Chase was on the button
Alright.
when we first started, but
Okay, so we'll get it right, but they've confirmed Chase, he's not like Haxton. He didn't quite find that spot. He's found a lot of good ones here, though.
Ike Haxton's one of my favorite players
But
of
look,
all time, one of the best in my
Well, if you
opinion.
remember the first PCA in Bahamas, his hand against Ryan Doubt.
Absolutely, I actually just saw that clip on Poker Reddit.
There
I
you
think
go.
it popped back
Okay.
up. Somebody was bringing that up. Absolute legend. Hair flowing in the breeze. I can't even believe that they were playing poker outside at those times.
It was
I don't
super
know how
windy.
those-
Yes,
yeah.
that's
I don't know how
absolutely
the
true.
cards stayed on the table. That was crazy.
PCA 1. All right, so Vlad draws first blood and goes from 7.5 to 10 million chips, or 8 to 10. Picks up a few bigs. So where's the button? Can we see it there?
So the button's now
Okay.
on Chase.
Chase has it, and there he is. Makes it $1 million. That's a 2.5x.
Is there anything to be said for because he has this massive chip advantage raising a little bit more often as opposed to employing the limping strategy just to put that pressure on Vlad?
Yes, there's always the argument and the counter argument, right? I still think it's not as good as limping your entire range, which is what Vlad's going to do. I also think 2.5, it's signaling to Vlad that, yes, I'm ready to call your shove. But though we can see that he wasn't, I think it may be a little bit of an overbet. So I've been complimenting Chase on his preciseness, even comparing him favorably to Peter. But here we'll probably see that, though either one of them could certainly win, Chase has the advantage with a chip lead. Vlad, he doesn't make any errors. A7 of diamonds hand earlier, it would have worked against a lot of hands and a lot of people. I mean, anyway, I think Vlad has a slight skill advantage here, as much as it pains me to say. Chase flapped a flush draw here in a limp pot. Well, that can't
Vlad
be.
turns a gut shot with the 5 on the turn. Let's see if he decides to use it or continue just to try to get to showdown with his ace high value here.
Brick River, and Vlad's going to win this with a check. Okay, so we're working on our graphics a bit. Not sure what happened there, but I guess the ace high was in Chase's hand. Is that possible?
I thought it went check and Vlad won with the ace high.
Right, but Chase has the chip, so something else happened.
Okay, Chase must have put out a little bet out there and maybe just got Vlad to fold ace high, which I don't know. That seems unlikely. Yeah, I feel like he would have called. Yeah, I think Vlad would have called with the ace high quite a bit there. So I'm not exactly sure. A notification on my phone gave me some, I don't know, interesting political news all of a sudden.
These youngsters, they don't know. See, Owen from Colorado says, I could never jam that 2-6 of hearts there on the river. I don't think he's seen the old Ike.
Yeah, that's before his time. He doesn't know.
Yeah, as we see, it would have worked. But yeah, we're talking about super sick demonic plays here that aren't necessary to win tournaments, but it would have been cool. So that's action flop.
Yeah, both players with diamonds here. Vlad dominating.
Chase probably gonna fire a little c-bet there. Looks like 700 or 6. Vlad can go either way here, and really a number of ways. He can raise to a few different sizes, or he can call. He chooses to call. On the paired board, raising can look very unbelievable, and you can get shoved on even by bluffs that are ahead of you. So, not surprised he decided to call there. Chase actually hits, unbeknownst to himself. I mean, it's a good turn, obviously, but it's a miracle turn. He was way behind, and now he's suddenly a little bit ahead, and it continues with it.
Hard to make a pair, especially heads up. So this deuce is a monster card, like you said, for Chase.
Sure. He knows it has some value against quite a few of Vlad's ace highs and flush draws, and he bets it accordingly. A little under half pot on the bet.
Diamond would have been a disaster card for Chase, but the ace of spades is actually safe.
It's going to go check, and the pair of deuces and kings. He's going to scoop a nice pot. Would have been interesting if Vlad raised flop, if Vlad raised turn. A lot of different things could have happened there, but partially because of Chase's smaller sizing, Vlad was getting odds to call with his draw, and so the hand played fairly standard. Besides that the 2 on the turn meant that Chase won it.
Yeah, definitely could envision a world where those 2 flush draws get a lot more chips into the pot.
Oh, yeah. Or Chase doesn't make a pair and has to blast off in the river, or decide if he wants to bluff river or lose to jack high. Would have also been interesting. The 2 kind of slowed down the action because he was able to play pot control in showdown. Let's see if Vlad keeps limping his mid-range as well as his high range. Yes, he does.
Chase with the 10-7 of diamonds.
Checks back. C3 again.
Gut shot to the 9 for Chase.
Nothing wrong with a lead here.
Looks like you check, and Vlad has put
500K out.
Yep.
Chase with a quick call.
Ace on the turn. Nice card for Vlad.
Absolutely good for his range, good for his hand. He's probably going to bet and take it here, but he would be betting almost his whole range on this turn, so doesn't necessarily have to leave him, Chase.
1600.
Looks like 1.6 million is the bet. A little too steep, more than likely, for Chase to chase a gut
might
shot.
be getting
But
raisin chips out.
it looks like he is.
He is. Got to make plays heads up. Turns out he's chosen an inopportune moment. Not only does he just have a gut shot, but Vlad's kicker is one of his, is this worth out?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also, you don't feel like you have the nuts here if you're Vlad, but I don't see a world in which he can blow him off this hand. So there's going to be a call, and unless a 9 comes on the river, any chips Chase puts in will get called. I imagine probably a shutdown on this river, especially hitting a pair.
7 does bring in a couple of straight combinations. The 10-9 and the 6-5 do get there.
Sure.
But again, I don't think.
He's asking for a count. He may be thinking shove. I think we're going to get a check. All in.
He does find the
Vlad
shove.
calls within 2 seconds, and that's that. Vlad's going to be the chip leader now.
Snap call.
You see that good play. So when I say things like you shouldn't be deciding here, Vlad had that entire. As soon as he bet turn, Vlad knew exactly. He was expecting a gut shot to possibly raise turn bomb river. That's why he pressed call twice. He didn't pretend. He didn't rethink it on the river. I must say, well played. Jamming turn over that raise would be a catastrophe. Pressing fold on the river, catastrophe. He didn't think about either one of those two things. He just did quite nice. That's why you can limp buttons 25 big ones deep and not worry about doubling up, because it doesn't take much for the chips to get in.
Yeah. So according to the graphic here, Chase still does hold on to the small chip advantage, but like we were saying, one double up, and we're basically at even stacks here, 17.5 to 15 million.
It's on.
Yeah, we've got a real poker battle here.
And Chase will be seeing a little bit of lightning at the top of his vision right now. He'll regather his nerve. There's battling. I mean, if you remember, Vlad went through a short period of steam earlier. Great players do it. They come back. So still anybody's game. Chase probably kicking himself a little bit. Not for the turn play, which was fine. He should have known, like we did here in the booth, that once Vlad called turn, he was expecting and ready for a river bluff. And when you get your bluff called in 0.2 seconds, it never feels great for a lot of chips.
No, absolutely. I mean, top pair was a quite obvious call there, but I doubt that Vlad would have even folded middle pair.
Yeah,
in that
well,
spot.
he's losing tall value with just the one pair there. He really is. Beating all bluffs, but yeah, he flipped it over like it was the nuts.
Chase again with a gut shot. Vlad, 9 high. Looks like it's in the lead. Not sure what his mystery card is. Rainbow board, queen 5, 3, 7.
900.
Chase fires turn. The gut shot. Unsure of Vlad's hand, though 9 high is good.
Raise.
That's a raise.
Mine's a raise, and this is the Vlad that we have been waiting to see for the majority of this final table. It's been has largely had to cage the beast due to, stack sizes and other implications, but
Well, the A7 of Diamond's hand didn't work out against Jason, but he... No spoilers.
spoilers. Hopefully you guys couldn't hear anything that we just heard outside of our pay window, where our commentary booth is right next to the pay window. So may have we may have heard a spoiler, but we're not going to we're not going to do
Chris
that to
Hall.
you guys. Shout out to Chris Hall. Somebody, Mr. Mate, shouted him out
Yeah, we just saw
in
him
the chat.
out there flooring as he does so well. Vlad the Impaler raises to $1 million over the big blind. 2.5x on the button, so Vlad's mixing in his pre-flop strategies a bit. Either that or big blind just went to 500K.
Check. Check.
Interesting check back from Vlad. I mean, he has some showdown value. He's mixing it up, but it's very much a C-bet friendly flop.
Chase with bottom pair here.
Yep. Just go check on the river. Fairly uneventful.
Gonna show down and win with the best hand there.
Yeah, they both get to see what each other, you know, what Vlad 2.5x with, what Jace defends with, but it was all standard, so not much learned.
I just got a notification on my phone that some of these results are coming in. There was voting going on today in some of these runoff elections here in Texas. It looks like Ken Paxton might have won against John Cornyn for the GOP primary, so that's interesting.
I just hope they all had fun.
Yeah.
I donated to both sides.
Yeah, so definitely going to have some new representation
Was
here in
that a
Texas.
Democrat one?
There was a Democrat one for Congress. I think Al Green versus Christian.
Yeah, I'll show my ignorance on the political stuff there.
Christian Menifee. Christian Menifee does defeat Al Green as well, so we're going to have some new representatives.
There we go. Hopefully good for gambling. I mean, do you know anything about that aspect? That's what I care about.
I think that was, I saw a lot of the chat. That was what everybody cared about as well, because there's
was against gambling always, right? So.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because they sort of changed. They changed what they were doing with certain of the marijuana and
steals
TCH.
a little pot. I think the stacks are. Yeah, I think the stacks are dead even now, more or less.
Yeah, just about. So yeah, I think that's what everybody cares about from a poker standpoint. That's all we care about politically is who's going to be the best for poker, and I think it's still up in the air. I think nobody knows because people are not taking strong positions or stances either way. So there is going to be an attorney general election. We'll have to see what they say about the state of poker in the state. Vlad on the button here with the 8-7. Gonna limp it.
That's the limp. And a check for Chase with 8-4. Oh boy.
Wow, what a flop. 2 pair for Vlad and top pair for Chase. Could get interesting, especially if Chase decides to lead out.
It will. It will.
I felt the lead coming on, and it does come. 1 million.
A big lead, too.
Yeah, hefty. Let's see if Vlad traps or raises for value on this street.
I think against that big of sizing, he'll find a raise, sensing that Chase, whatever he has, it's not an air ball. It's not Queen 10 of diamonds here. It's something that he wants to continue with and potentially get all in, and was trying to find value with. The question is, how will Chase react?
So it looks like that bet, 2 blue chips out there, but the bet was actually
2.8?
Chase's original bet was 800,000.
800,000, and now Vlad's made it 2.4, 2.8, something like that. All in. This is going to be showers.
Wow.
Chase may be slightly frustrated by Vlad's skill and patience. Putting Vlad on a draw or a bluff, thinking top pair was good, is going to get it in, and not the situation that you dream of here. Yeah, it looks like they were so close in chips that this may be our tournament. And that's going to be 2 pair holding up.
Yeah, 2 pair holds, and Vlad leaving Chase with about 3 and
Vlad
change
the
big
Impaler.
blinds. Yeah, he's
Winnie,
gonna have sub
weenie,
4 big
weeky.
blinds. He is on a heater. Look out, Vegas, man. Vlad is coming.
Yep, I hit you with that Pokeratlas trophy right there. And yeah, I do hope we see him in a 25K this summer because he got the skills to pay the bills. A very deserving champion. I would claim him as a TCH Westheimer local. He loves to play here and play cash, but he certainly plays all around town and the state. So a great 3-day tournament. Fun to commentate. I've never done this before. So thank you to Shanice for inviting me and letting me keep her company.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely
Made
more
our
fun
mistakes.
with
Did we end up going quiet twice or was it just once?
you. Yeah, maybe once or twice.
Once or
But
twice.
it's okay.
Negligible amount.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, well played by all the players too. Everybody finished in exactly the place that they deserved, which is rare for a poker tournament.
Well, it's not over yet. Chase still
Oh.
has about
Okay,
3 and
sorry.
change
Oh
big
boy, I
blinds,
hope he
sub
comes all
4
the way
big
back.
blinds. So let's see if he can run a couple of hands together.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 big ones is not a joke. And we do have Chase all in with 7-8. Vlad calls
So
with
Chase all
Queen
in
5.
and at risk, yeah.
Queen
And
5 never looks so good. Oh boy.
8 on the flop is life for Chase.
And that's
No,
going
it's
to be
not.
a pair of queens winning this tournament. Last 3 big blinds go in. Neither player really had much choice. With the ante out there, they both had to gamble. And Vlad is going to be our Texas Card House Pokeratlas title event champion.
Wow.
So congrats to Vladimir. Congrats to all the final table contestants. Congrats to the Poker House for running a good, successful tournament. To Pokeratlas for running the tour.
Yeah, what a fantastic evening of poker. Vlad with a couple of quick hands. We didn't know if this was going to be a long heads up or a short heads up battle. And
Right, we said 2 minutes or 2 hours. We got about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Or what was it? I think 5 hands.
it was not a lot of hands. It was
and
not
Chase
a lot of
played
hands.
great. Really, even from the first, it's amazing because it is the details where the devil lives. Small differences between Vlad and Chase's game. You could see that Vlad is a little more precise, and I'm afraid to say a little bit of frustration there from Chase in that final table. You know, maybe a check call line, maybe getting away from a big raise. I don't know. I'm not there to judge, but did end a bit unexpectedly there in that final hand. Suddenly all in and a call and just a whiplash.
So Chase takes home $68,000 for his troubles this weekend. You know, of course, it's always disappointing to probably second place is the most disappointing place to finish in a tournament. You're so close to
Sure.
the trophy and everything else, but
Sure. The wife and the
you,
kid don't mind though. We're eating good dinner tomorrow. We're having a good summer vacation. You know, it's tomorrow. It will feel better. The bruise will go down. But yeah, definitely starting with the chip lead, playing as well as he did at the final table. He will have wished to defeat Vlad. But man, the guy is on fire right now. If you touch him, you might burn your hand.
Yeah, Vlad is not to be trifled with. Lately has won $300,000 in about a 2-week span here. So
yeah, back-to-back main events. You know, and the 2 biggest poker, I dare say, 2 biggest poker houses in Houston. So in the same month, that's a pretty impressive feat that should make poker news magazines or wherever people get their poker news these days. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye out for Vlad. He is going to be out there. He's going to be out there in Vegas, as will quite a number of these players. I think we will be watching from home and supporting all of our Houston players as they take down some big tournaments in Vegas, hopefully, bring some more bracelets and hardware home.
Absolutely, and come visit us at Texas Card House, any of our 6 locations, but especially here at the Westheimer location. We'll be happy to see you and have you in one of our nightly tournaments or cash games. And anybody who's out in Vegas, June 26th through the main event, holla at your boy.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, David, for joining me.
My
My
girl.
name is Shanice.